And we are live. Or as the Rogan would do it. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing? Let's pop up the chat. Hello, Ray Ray. Lolly ho, Jellybean. Always so skillful. Koshek, as usual, power sliding in. DD would love some Hildy. Good. I literally remember none of a Realm-Reborn Hildebrand. None of it. It's kind of a lie because I remember broad strokes, but I remember so little of it. Lolly ho Myths. Lolly ho Orin. Lolly ho DD. Hey, the barbecue. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Star Vixen. Good to see you. Glad to have you. I am ready for Hildebrand. I'm ready to learn anew. Better start practicing our flexing, indeed. Sarah, good to see you, glad to have you. How is everybody doing? Let's get it going. Is there a delay in the chat, or is my audio not coming through or something? No one's chat's popping up. I may refresh the page. That's weird. Y'all quiet, or is it the chat's broken? Well, either way. I hope everyone is doing well. Doing well, just doing MSQ stuff on Elion? How do you like pronounce that, Vixen? Just quiet, I think. Okay, cool. That's fun. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing broken, because the technical issues always something goes down. Just quiet. Get ready for Master Zombie Brand. Indeed. Silver Kogaku, good to see you. Glad to have you. Professor, good to see you. Glad to have you. We are waiting for you to go hang with Hildy. Well, in that case, why don't we go ahead and get started then? Let me just check something really quick. Sorry, attention. No. Again, it was not so much like, oh, I need attention. It was more just like, oh God, is something broken? Because I have no idea how to spell the pronunciation. Okay, no worries. Don't forget to, though it doesn't become, oi, governor. I'm going to hurt your soul so much, Ray Ray, though, if I try to do a Cockney accent. I've been expecting you, Elio. You've been training hard, I trust. I would set your next trial, one more dangerous than any you faced before. But I would not send an unprepared man to his death. Before we proceed, I must needs verify your progress with mine own eyes. You will face 3 experienced lancers in single combat. Defeat each one in succession, and you will prove yourself fit to undertake the trial. Arm yourself and take your place in the training area. We begin when you are ready. So what voice are we going for Hildebrand then? That's the question. Nashu's Cockney, but what's Hildebrand? I literally have no memory. Have we even here? Elio, it's about those fee things. So the merchants borrowed, paid money towards from Charlie, and now the city-states are paying fee towards Charlie and directly in the city tax to pay out the debt. Okay, well, the merchants borrowed, paid the money towards from Charlie, and... Okay, so the merchants weren't even middleman in terms of being the loaner. Okay, were they? Paid margin from Charlie, and now the city-states are paying a fee towards Charlie directly. So were they initially paying it towards the merchants, and then it shifted towards Charlie? Armstrong accent? Maybe Boston accent? Can I do Boston? No. Oh my God, what was that? What? And child. God, I'm using the most conventional fucking S. Armstrong. Yeah. Transatlantic for Hildy. What exactly is the transatlantic? I'm like, my brain... Like classic, the radio announcer one? Isn't that like the one that we use for like NPR and stuff? Or no, that's Midwest standard. What is the transatlantic accent? My brain's forgetting. Someone give me an example. Oh, sorry, that was a question if I understand it right or not. Oh, sorry, Brotherhood, sorry, I didn't get a chance. I have literally not slept. I'm not as far along in my video for tomorrow as I wanted to be. So I didn't get a chance to check in on that. I would suggest that if what your information that you give me is true, what that would imply is that the merchants of Ul'dah would have been the only ones wealthy enough or like with enough credit to secure a loan for the Aetherites in the first place. And Charlene didn't want to give out a loan, and therefore the city-states would be, or at least Ul'dah would be paying back the merchants instead of Charlene. However, because I haven't looked into it, I don't know the specifics of it. No, his dad is Armstrong. Hey, Jolly, good to see you. Glad to have you. Did I mean Brotherhood? I said good to see you. Glad to have you, right? Not for, if I didn't, my bad. The radio announcer for Hildy. Yeah, what? Okay. DJ Hildebrand up here in the, oh, I kind of, DJ Hildebrand. I should get like a soundboard just like, for like when Hildebrand just like presses, really old black and white movies. Maybe Koshek, maybe. No, his dad is Armstrong. All Might Build-A-Brand. I don't know what All Might sounds like. I haven't watched a ton of My Hero Academia, and I only watched it in Japanese for what I did watch. Also, good to see you. Glad to have you, Alex. Hello, greetings from the STL. Good to see you. Glad to have you, Barry. I hope that everyone's having a great day today. I am very much. I was listening to some music recently that was, well, actually, I'm very tired, but here, we'll get on that in a little bit. Let's get through this, that way we can get onto the Hildebrand. Impressive, Elio. Most impressive. You are ready to face the trial. Yet I did not exaggerate when I said it would be dangerous. Make no mistake, to take this test is to risk death. Johnny Bravo. Hey, Fred's mama. Okay. Do the monka now. Okay, that actually like pseudo Elvis Johnny Bravo. I'm kind of feeling it. Think like Golden Age Hollywood. Oh, okay. I don't know if I would be able to do that. I feel like either way, he's got huge himbo energy. Maybe Johnny Bravo is the right way to go then. Hey, Vein Dog, good to see you. Glad to have you. Dropping by to lurk, nice to see you tackling the inspector. Yeah. Always good to have you around. Knowing this, do you still wish to proceed? Yeah, Johnny Bravo. Okay, I think we're doing Johnny Bravo. You disappoint me. Back again, are you? That man is the only soul in this pathetic excuse for a guild who shows any promise. Which is why I counseled him to leave you. Alas, he chooses to remain in this house of cravens. Such a waste. The guild has outlived its purpose, and I mean to see its doors shut and barred for good. If you wish to object, I invite you to do so with lance in hand. You do not want for your confidence, sir, but answer me this. What grudge do you hold against us? For what reason did you choose this of all crusades? Hey, Chris, good to see you. Glad to have you. Hello, I'll still have to work tonight shift, so I'm heading out to the work now, but I'm going to leave the stream going on. Always appreciated, Chris, for going out the extra way, and also even just popping in to say hi, appreciated. I detest cravens who would proclaim their courage, and nothing better than to crush them. This is my reason. Well, the fixity of your purpose is clear. If your reasoning is not, so be it. Suffice it to say you will not have your way without a fight. Oh, but do not presume that I will be your opponent. No, you must face lancers of whom you so grandly claim mentorship. The one among us whose potential you can condescend to acknowledge. Elio shall represent us all. As guildmaster, I wager the fate of the guild upon his lance. Ha! Do as you will, coward. It is your guild to throw away. You may set your terms of the contest. Very well. Elio, he is here to undertake a trial. I challenge you to complete the task before he does. You will travel to East Shroud and prove your courage before the Lord of the Bramble Patch. He is a giant amongst boars, unrivaled in strength and savagery, ruler over all his kind. You must go before this fearsome creature and stand your ground. Know though, the Lord of the Bramble Patch will not grant an audience to just anyone. You must needs present him an offering of the bloody tusks of his subjects, the wild boar that inhabit his domain. When you have prepared your offering, leave it upon an area of trampled earth. Drawn to the stench of blood, the Lord of the Bramble Patch will soon appear. This is all. Are there any questions? Yes, I have questions. No? Then let the trial commence. I love you nod, and he says no? Okay. Lance of Destiny. Glad to be of service. Yes! Johnny Bravo. Do the mocha now. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely vibing with that. I may not be good at it right away, but I'm definitely vibing with it. And the voices that I can vibe with and get into or like comfortable with are far more fun. Oh, see you, Issa. I'll miss you. Have fun at class. They both got the cartoon feel, masculinity, awkwardness, and stupidity. Yeah, exactly. Hope class works and goes well for you. Yeah, as long as the Hildy voice has enough confidence to annoy the Elzen guy, it works. I feel like Johnny Bravo, like, what's better for that than Johnny Bravo? Also, that show is approaching 30 years old, I'd like to point out. If any of you want to feel old. Sorry, I just had a message to respond to. Actually, let's go ahead and get the XP for this. 30, yeah. Congrats, you're old. Yeah, let's look at the air date. I bet you first air date's got to be mid-90s. Johnny Bravo air date. I bet you it's not even late 90s. Yeah, 95. It's older than I am. March 26, 1995 is its first day of air. And guess what else was that? Guess what it was a month earlier? February 26th, Dexter's Laboratory. So, let that sink in, everyone. Not 20, almost 30. To be fair, 27. We still got 3 years left. Yeah, no. Okay, yes, it's 27, not 30 years. I feel you'll remember that shit coming in. Just a no, 27. Oh no. There's no way could be approaching 30 and be mid-90s. I was born in 1990 and I'm like 20. Huh? Shit. See, but the benefit for me, and just for me, is that because it's March 25th, or 26th, 1995, it will always be older than me. So I never have to be like, oh God. Buffy is 25 years old. The first season of Buffy, I believe, is April 97, so let that also sink in. Oh my God, why is it 10 tusks? That's a fuck ton of tusks. My childhood, my emotions. You also 95 ability? Yes, I am indeed. September 9th, 1995, 9995. He's almost 30, dies. You know, okay, but like, think about it. The average life expectancy is increasing. Most of us, especially in the millennial generation, never accrued any wealth in our 20s at all. So for most of us, our 30s are like to be in much better years than our 20s. Also, many of the people in this stream, I'm willing to bet, are not exactly huge social butterflies who go bar crawling all the time. So it's not like we were taking advantage of the traditional 20s aspects as much as a lot of the stability benefits of the 30s. So if anything, I would say for most of us, the next 10 years are good to be golden. And I would suspect even beyond that. Besides, it's not like you need to be young in order to be able to play MMOs. So. Heh, I'm older than you by 8 months and a day. I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing, Vixen? That's up to you. That's a perspective thing. Also, January 10th, thanks. My 30s are still going to be poor. Oh, I'm sorry, Koshak. You know, here's the thing, hope springs eternal, right? If you played this game, then you should definitely embrace that. So you never know. The benefit of time is, you know, it's the curse and blessing of this too shall pass. And it means that the bad will go, and so will the good, but it can come again. So there's, as long as there's light, there's hope. Yeah, no, 96 kid here anyway. Yeah. Us, like, mid to late 90s kids, and this is still true of early 90s kids too, but the thing that I always find funny about the 90s kids that people have mentioned is that the 90s kids are quote unquote the last generation to go outside. Like, we witnessed and experienced the transition from, you know, something like the Game Boy Color to smartphones within our formative years. And that's really, there's not a lot of, the only comparable generation I can think of to that really is when you think about it is the other turn of the century generations. You think about the way in which electricity was adopted, and you compare and contrast that to the way in our lifetimes how internet and, you know, smart technology was adopted. It's very interesting. I'm going to be fascinated to see how history looks back on the turn of the 20th to 21st. Yeah, joking aside, 30s are pretty chill so far. I'm no richer, but less depressed than in my 20s. There you go, see? There you go. Why would I go bar crawling when I got video games and coffee to pay for? Silver, you person after my own heart. Well, okay, maybe not coffee, but other drinks. Oh, I misheard. It's the 28th. Oh, yeah. So 28th. So what? That's 28th of January. So that's what, 19 days ahead? Because I'm 9/9. September. One of the better months in my opinion, but that's also because I love the transition between summer and fall. I wish it was a little bit more rainy, but other than that, big fan. On top of that, the stone of September is sapphire, which is my favorite. Well, okay, I have two favorite stones. My favorite stones are sapphire and lapis lazuli, but seeing as they're both blue, you know. Also, I find it ironic that my favorite color is blue, my chair is green, and my shirt is orange. It's like I have no blue stuff. Well, okay, I guess my background lights are blue right now, but I have very little in the way of blue things. How do you do, fellow kids, me being born in 84? Well, LaBarbecue, here's the thing, though. Let's be real here. Though we may be younger, there is a certain amount that once you reach your mid to late 20s, the difference between your mid to late 20s, especially like your late 20s and like your mid 30s, is far narrower than the difference between something like 20 and 28, right? Like, let's be real, once you're in theory not going to college, if you're someone who did go to college, I effectively didn't, we're all kind of just in the workforce, and then from there it's just our own personal life experiences. Whereas also like the difference in like something like maturity and stuff between someone who's like, you know, 16 and 20, or, you know, like 12 and 16 is vast. Once you get to a certain point, and it's like the difference between 28 and 38 really isn't that big. Like, it is, you got your different points in life and stuff, but it's not a, you know, an insurmountable chasm like something like, you know, the difference between being 12 and 16 is. From Pong games to Nintendo Super Mario Brothers. Yeah. Me and my brother still hitting each other with sticks as kids. Yeah, same. Well, I wasn't hitting my siblings mostly because my sisters weren't. It was mostly just me swinging around plastic swords. Hey, I'm 30 and so far I've been way better than my 20s. Yeah, see? Remember people with early smartphones while I had a CD player with burn music compilation? Vain Dog, me too. Yeah. Ooh, Lapis. Oh, I fucking love Lapis Lazuli. So fucking good. I tell people I'm a gamer and they don't believe me. Really? How come, D? Like, age? Is it age? Is it gender? What is it? Hey y'all, I'm 96. Hey Aubrey, good to see you, glad to have you. I'm 96 here. Growing up while watching tech evolve, it's been wild. It's been fascinating. And I personally find the 20s are all about reflection and growth. Yeah. What have my 20s been about, ultimately? I think my life was so tumultuous and chaotic, and I did a lot of emotional soul searching before my 20s and was very sure in myself before then. But the 20s have much been more about finding stability, I think, and finding a way to simultaneously be fulfilled in the things that I want to do, and also have a relatively stable environment, which often conflict with each other because I have to do the thing that I love, but often the thing that I love is not necessarily good for stability. Now, luckily, I found this, which has been working out. So, I mean, it took, you know, a better part. I'm about to be 27 in a couple months, and that's, you know, it took most of my 20s to get to a point where I was simultaneously being satisfied and, you know, reaching stability. Lapis lazuli, a wonderful shade of blue. They used to use it as pigment for brilliant blue. Yeah, AC. Yes. It's probably my favorite shade of blue. And it's kind of interesting because this isn't really fair because it's not a specific shade, but I love the color that is its blue with the flecks of gold, which I realize is 2 colors. It's not a color, but for lack of a better way to convey that, it's just, I love Lapis so much. Lapis is my favorite character in Steven Universe apart from Garnet, obs. That, Garnet being your favorite character, yep, that about tracks. Can't say I'm surprised, Ray. However, I haven't watched a ton of Steven. I don't think I've met Lapis in Steven Universe. I think that's how little I've watched. I'm 53 years old and female. Yeah, well, okay. I can see how it's societal standards, Steve, and like why people might not necessarily assume that. However, I really appreciate that we're getting to the point in the world where gamer is not an association with male and young. We're still there somewhat. There's still those like presumptions in people's heads. But I think now that we're 3 generations in, right, to people who have grown up as gamers, you know, because we've got millennials, you've got your millennials, your Gen X, and your Gen Z all have grown up with, you know, being gamers. Like Gen X, there's a little bit more wiggle room, but still, you know, you still got your Atari, you got your you know, the NES, you've got Pong consoles and stuff. Like there's still a lot of people that grew up with games within that generation, and then by the time you get to the 90s babies, there's just a complete ubiquity of it in childhood with, you know, the adoption of, you know, things like Super Nintendo, N64, Game Boy Color onto, you know, and that continues to progress ever more and more and more until you know, because in the 80s you have the Genesis and you have, you know, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, obviously. So it's not like it wasn't major then, but you just see that rampant growth. And then the adoption of mobile games, for all that they can be a cancer, also that adoption ends up making it so that most people, even people you eventually wouldn't think of, are gaming to some extent, you know. Old soul stuff, yeah. I mean, looking at my clothes in a chair, you think my favorite color is purple, but no, it's azure blue. Oh, God, I love azure. Greetings from Orlando. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Glad to have you. Seafoam green is my fave. Nice, Aaron. I've always appreciated good seafoam green. It's like, it's one of those colors that I always love, or I always really like, but it's never been like the ones that I'm like, love. But it's like it's that like second tier of you know, there's like top tier, there's favorite, top tier, and then there's like second tier, and there's like then like 4 other tiers below that. But so it's like a really solid color. I love seafoam green, and it's very useful. I also, if I'm using a pastels, seafoam green are like one of the ones to go to. Garnet's the best. Yeah, I can't keep up with the boys. Oh, I have no question. Look, if you're 53 and female and you're spending your time watching an Final Fantasy XIV live stream, I have no doubt your competency in engaging with all of this just as much as everybody else. Not that you need my validation. Only just say like, yeah. Anyone who dismisses anyone based, especially on age when it comes to game, is just being silly. You shan't find much sport in these two. Come back another day, my friend. I'm partial to gem opal, though not the SU killer. Ah! Well done, Elio. You've completed the trial. I trust you now see the truth in my words. Hurling yourself into the midst of danger is not courage, it is folly. No, this proves nothing. I refuse. I refuse to accept. Auroria, good to see you. Glad to have you. Foreshadowing. You refuse to accept the weakness within you. I love story finding you as all made it. No, Elio, leave him be. Your work here is done. Return to the guild. I shall see you there presently. Hollywood still hasn't caught up, to be honest. It's kind of funny seeing how they display as dorky when it's so common now. Yeah, I mean, but that, like, also it's always the problem is there's always a lag time on that shit because people in power are always representational of those who are in the older demographic. So at best, you're looking mostly towards Gen X and boomers. And I don't even mean that disparagingly. I just mean like in terms of cultural awareness in position seats of power. And that's starting to change. It's starting to get better. I mean, like, you look at the fact that the Sonic movie got made and was made by people who get Sonic, you know? To me, like it or hate the movie, is irrelevant. It's not a Super Mario Bros. From the 90s, right, movie? It's not a Super Mario Bros. Movie. It is a thing that, like, does get its source material. And so it's interesting to see how that is shifting bit by bit. My mom always was always into tech stuff, so this stuff was normal to me. D, that makes sense. That tracks. My dad was, it's interesting, neither of my parents were super into tech, but my dad was incredibly tech literate, and so being tech literate was normal, even though my dad didn't show me many things. Now, that said, he did, as a kid, like, play Myst with me, and some CD-ROM games, and so I think those left lasting impressions. Especially, I remember playing Riven with him at, like, 4 years old or 3 years old, and that, you know, that has embedded itself in my psyche. It's pretty cool. You still get the no girl gamers cliche. Yeah, it's so, even though it's been nonsense for 20 years. Yeah, it's so silly. Oh my god, you all, that was so fun to live and watch and grow up. I love that experience. Yeah. I'm so glad it's a cool day today. The clouds are covering up the sun. Awesome, AC. I'm good. I know a lot of people are suffering from some heat waves right now. I love the story, and finding you all has made me happy like no tomorrow, so I appreciate you all, and I mean that. Awesome, D. I'm glad. I'm glad that that is, how to frame that. That's what I want out of this. There's a lot of things I want out of this channel. There's a lot of things I want out of this community. But fostering something where people can feel heard and seen, not beyond, I'm not just me, but each other, is why I love this game and what I want to help make. And it's not that other people don't. And it's just like, I think that's more of my emphasis than some other content creators. And that's not disparaging. That's not mean in any way disparaging. It's more just a statement of a fact and intent. And we all have to pick where to put our energy. You know, I have the benefit of not being married. I have the benefit of not having kids. So I can choose to make that a large portion of my time in a way that other people don't have that luxury. For the record, Ray, my girlfriend could probably beat a lot of guys at games. Oh yeah. Oh, dude, gender and age has nothing to do with skill. Like, okay, here's the thing. Is there something to say, as always, like when it comes to certain things, that, like, yes, do you have better Twitch response times if you're, like, younger compared to older and blah, 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 blah? Sure. But that, like, ignoring that, and that only matters for, like, the top 0.01% of people. You know, like, dude, it's not, it's how you use it. I remember hanging out with gamer girls who could wipe the floor with most guys my whole gaming life, yeah. Why do most video game adaptations have such bad reputations? Good ones are few and far between. Because for most people, it's a couple things. One, adapting, so there's like a couple things, and actually I do want to talk about this, so I'm going to finish this up and we're going to talk about this in real quick. I will not lie to you. You are no match for the Lord of the Bramble Patch. Had you betrayed any hint of fear, he would have gored you in the space of a moment and feasted on your entrails. But you stood your ground, holding fast to your composure and resolve. Thus were you able to stare terror in the face and survive unscathed. Well done, Elio. You've overcome the greatest hurdle in the quest to become the master of your own courage. You may now bring the full extent of your abilities upon even the mightiest of foes. As for Folquist, well, if there's a shred of reason left in him, we'll have learned the selfsame lesson as you this day. Painful though this experience must surely have been, one can only hope that it will serve to open his eyes to the truth. Go forth, Elio, and prepare yourself for their further trials. I look forward to our next meeting. So there's a couple things there. So one thing is that a lot of times video games are cashing in on cultural cachet. That's been part of the problem, rather than on meaningfully adapting. Part of it sincerely is that people don't respect that translating a video game into another medium is a damn near impossible task. You're gonna have a lot easier of a time translating a book into a movie than you will a video game into a movie, despite both being visual things. Now, the reason for that a lot of people don't respect enough is that video games are an interactive medium. People don't understand how much that is their strength and how much that matters. That is everything. So to make it a passive medium in a movie while still feeling right is a very difficult thing to do. because if you just use iconography, it feels hollow. And so it's very hard. And beyond that, AC, yeah, there's a lot of reasons. Part of it is also you have to have people who love the game, respect the game, and understand games, and also can find a way to translate all that, what that love is and what matters about that game into another medium. And then you also have to make sure that someone who's capable of doing that is good enough at securing funds and money and, you know, production to happen. You know, it's just like it's so many difficulties. I'm probably a gamer because of my dad. We spend a lot of time playing Tekken 2 together. Yeah. Yep, if my mom were still alive today, she would have been 82 and a gamer. She loved that. She loved them. We got her hooked on it. That's awesome, D. My mom is a gamer and now I am too. Awesome. One of my best friends is a Vet 1.0 veteran. Yep, I do in RFC as well. I mean that. Awesome. My parents are geeks, so I grew up with sci-fi, fantasy, and superheroes. It's interesting when you say that. My parents weren't technically geeks. My parents were incredibly geek friendly, but they weren't geeky. Very, very competent people, both CEOs of small companies. My mom is the CEO of her own interior design business, and small, like two or three people size. And then my dad runs a small biotech research company, again, like very small, but so they were both very competent people, and there was a lot of strong will in my family growing up. But the fact that they were friendly meant that even though they may have not been actively supportive, they were always passively supportive. And that does count for something. Games were also normal too. I remember I went through school when I got to high school, being a geek was becoming a trendy. Yeah, Deathberry, that's the other thing that I think a lot of people is very interesting. I think for many people who are roughly around my age, we saw the transition point from geeky becoming bad, you know, that 80s idea of geeky, to the the 2000s idea of geeky being that pop culture was ascendant and cool. I literally experienced youngest years being bullied for it to like middle school and high school years being lauded for it. So it's fascinating. My dad isn't necessarily a gamer, but he definitely planted the seed with Brothers and I with his love of the original Zelda on NES. Yeah, that's the thing, is all it takes is a parent who's like just into it enough, or one facet of it enough, to get us started on our journeys. Anyone know where to start Hildebrand? I've totally forgotten. Nashu she's not in, is it? Because I know you meet her obviously in Camp Drybones, but I don't think, does the quest start there? I'm gonna go there just in case while I catch up. Not saying I'm not a geek either. Yeah. Also, Raiho, good to see you, glad to have you. I don't know if I said hi. Does anything happen with the boar beast? Because I don't exactly remember what happens to it later in quests. Nothing in the Lancer quest, no. I don't believe it comes back up in the Dragoon quest or anything, but it's been a long time. There may be a fate. I can't recall, but there may be a fate that involves it. I would say two reasons. One, a lot of games don't translate well to movie format. Yep, a lot of times they want money and popularity instead of love. Yeah, exactly, Brotherhood. See most of Disney Star Wars stuff. You know, Brotherhood, I would disagree with most. I would definitely agree with some. Definitely, I would agree with some. But so for instance, and if you guys start getting into any kind of flame war or big thing over this in the chat, I will have to cut it off. But just to say, I am a very big fan of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I'm also a very big fan of The Mandalorian. So there are a lot of things that they did. I also, here, just 1 second. I'm also a very big fan of Solo, a Star Wars story, if you wasn't able to tell. So, let's just say that I will, there is a lot of it that I do love. One of my friends has a girlfriend who's 40 and has a better Twitch response reflex times than the gold standard, but she doesn't play games where that is important. Yeah. Let's try to get you guys through fast. I'm glad that you had that support, Elio. Yeah, me too, Aaron. I was really lucky. As much as my life growing up in my family was very complicated and stressful because it was 5 really strong personalities and all really dramatic people. Like, let me put it this way. I am the relatively... I may be animated in some ways more than some of my family, but I am kind of the more... I can be the less overly dramatic one sometimes. And I know that's hard to believe. Oh my god, I wish being geeky had been trendy when I was in school. It would have been life so much easier. Yeah, I was on the tail end for you, Cal. My dad worked in weird hours. A couple jobs support us. They only spend time with him was getting gaming. Yeah, Professor, that's a story I've heard all too often, though. I'm glad you did have that time. Ulda. Hey, guys, is it in Ulda? Is Ulda where I'm supposed to go to? I'm pretty sure it's Gridania. What about Limsa? We could try out Limsa. I mean, like, we could just go, you know, we'd be fine. I'm sure it's in Limsa. The Ulda. Oh, right, I actually know where the M-piece is. I helped if we were gaming in bedtime. It got extended until he had to go to work. Yeah, Ulda. Hey, guys, I think it's an Ulda. Does it start with Nashu, I think? Ray, I've had a lot going on. What do you want from me? Yeah, it does start with him and not Nashu, yeah. I think he was near the main 8th, right? I just remember having old CD-ROM games with my partners. I've really played them much. My dad, parents, never played. My dad tried to buy one game to test on a whim and somehow got it for Wii instead of Xbox. Oh, isn't that a strong parent move? Ain't that a parent move? The rise and fall of the gentleman. I won't go in depth about Star Wars in my list of opinions regarding it. Don't worry. Discussing that chat would be suboptimal, just not a fun friend. Yeah. But no, I hear you, brotherhood. I guess you were looking for it in Ulda. Ulda wrong places. Oh no, I completely understand that my mom was extremely, let's just say, a personality that could fill a room. Dez always coming in with the jokes. What's going on today by the 8th Right Plaza? I don't know. Did someone pass? Usually when there's flames like that, it's a memorial. It's a Roe memorial. Roe memorial? Like a Rogadin memorial for something? As in Wade. Ah. Yeah. Well, I would... a legitimate mistake. That reminds me of an inside joke between me and my friend. You know the song Black Betty? Black Betty. Black Betty. Okay, guys. Hey, I hear you've been busy as a bee, Elio. Seems half the whispers what come my way relate to your comings and goings. Being the active type you are, I reckon you'd be interested in investigating some queer rumors, am I right? But before that, let me ask, ever heard of a man named Hildebrand? Once a long time ago. Oi! You don't mean to say you knew the bugger. I know he thought himself famous, but thinking I don't make it true. Shame that he had to go and get himself killed. All that nonsense about stopping Dalamud himself. What in the 7 L's was he thinking? At least he was mercifully quick, still judging from the depth of the crater. He must have fallen from an unfathomable height. Gods only know what was going through his mind as he watched the ground rush up to meet him. Ugh. John Lennon voice? I'm gonna be really honest with you right now. I have no idea what John Lennon sounds like. I don't think I've ever heard John Lennon talk. I didn't grow up with the Beatles. Like, I've listened to a lot of Beatles music over the years, but I did not grow up with them being a huge cultural touchstone. I have no idea what John Lennon sounds like. I probably could, I don't even know, wait. Like, I can do this. I know this isn't a John Lennon. I don't know which one of the Beatles is, but like, gods know what was going on, though. In his mind, he watched the ground rushing up to meet him. Anyone know which one that is? That was it? Okay, I have no... You can say you knew him? Apparently. Amazing how well the body was preserved, though. Hells, it's amazing there was a body left to bury at all. I reckon for bringing this up. Right. So Nashu's Hildebrand, erstwhile assistant, has since become an inspector in her own right. At present, she's investigating the queer rumors I mentioned earlier. Gotta go be back in an hour. About to go have fun, Professor! Public transit is the worst, and also it's great. She was a sweet lass. Bit daft, but sweet nonetheless. So when I heard she was at the wit's end, I went to help things as... I prefer to meddle in the affairs of the living zombies. Zombies are most definitely not my forte. Yeah, Hildebrand. Oh yeah, Hildebrand 1.0 was totally a thing. Are you a meteor survivor? In my headcanon, I always treat the Warrior of Light as a meteor survivor. I was not someone who got to play 1.0. Thank you, Tethys. So if you're willing, I'll be grateful to lend her a hand. As for where to find her, she's like to visit Hildebrand grave in the Lich Yard when she's frustrated. Try and look for her there first. A guy once tried to sell me socks on public transit, probably lifted from Walmart or something. Look, I'm not gonna lie, at least it was just socks. I do love that they reference enough of what happened in 1.0 that even if you weren't there, you get what's going on. Oh my God. I hate that, like, literally to try and get into, like, a Cockney mindset for my voice, like, when I'm trying to switch between them, I literally have to say, oi, govna. Like, how more, like, trite and could I be? As long as they weren't used socks. Hildy saved it all. Oh, I have stories from my time as security at Walmart. Aaron, I bet you do. Anyone who has worked any kind of retail has stories, but man, if you're working security, of course Ray Ray's there. Ray always standing by Nashu. Sometimes there are strange people on public trains. I've seen and heard a few. Yeah, buses and light rails. Oh, oi! If only you were still alive, Inspector. Oh, I don't know. I keep still alive, Inspector. I literally don't know if I can do Cockney. I'm gonna sound terrible. I'm gonna be doing what I can do. Inspector. Wake up. Oi, if only you were still alive, Inspector. You know how to stop these zombies. Now I'm just going Midwestern. I don't know where to go with this. Valley Girl. Like, you there? Could it be? You've come to offer your services to me. Like, what? Oh, okay. Give me a second. I'm pulling up. I need to hear a Cockney accent to get in the headspace, and let's see if this works.
But today... But now I feel ill. I hope I'll be better by Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that from the top. Canadian. I mean, but like, what's the difference between Canadian and... Oh, we also need a character with a crazy strong vocal fry at some point. Yeah, I can't. Go really intense Midwest Canadian. Oh, but where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nashu, Agent of Inquiry, Agents of Inquiries and Extraordinary Inspector. Should definitely Cockney from Headlands on. Well, okay, you know, we're in ARRs right now, so what I'll do is I will pull the Alamigo card and I will practice so that I'm ready for Heaven's Word, like I am for Stormblood. Because we're in a Realm Reborn, fuck it. She's gonna be Canadian, apparently, and then all of a sudden she's gonna be Cockney, because just like a Realm Reborn. She even says core. Core blimey. Inspector Hildebrand. Oh my god. What is with me today? Also, I'm now overheating. Oh, Eileen the Crow? Yeah. Hunter of blood. Good hunter. What's another way to... Stomach the secrets. If you could do a Dream VA cast, would you have the voice of Hildebrand and not... Who would you have voice the Hildebrand and not Nashu? I'd have it be someone I've never heard of before, who's more amazing than anyone I had heard of before, because the amount of people that we know that are amazing talented voice actors that you haven't heard of is too big. I mean, think about most of the people for Final Fantasy XIV that you've never heard of, who you may still not even know the names of. Des. Can you do something? It at least sounds like Lord Farron from Guild Wars 2 in my head. I can see that. Oh. Inspector Hildebrand was a great man, a real Eorzean hero. We traveled the world, me and him, solving cases and thwarting evil. No matter the mystery, you could always count on the Inspector to solve it with grace and style. You know, alternatively, I could do something like that.
But then there was the final case, the case of the century, he called it. How to stop the Red Moon from destroying the world.
Sounds kind of like Kermit. Yeah. Billy. She's a cyborg now. Yeah, that's the problem. Is my only option for female that I've worked so far sounds far too robotic. Too much friend. Yeah. No. I know. But then there was the final case, the case of the century, he called it. How to stop the Red Moon from destroying the world. To save us all, he flew into the sky. All I could do was watch. But then he came back down, and he... Echo time. Cyborg Nacho. This is all a joke. A big funny joke, right, Inspector? Any moment now you'll burst out of the ground and shout, "Surprise! Ha! Fooled you, eh?" And we'll laugh and laugh. Hildebrand Mandeville, beloved son. You'd think his dad would have paid for a nicer grave. They say that no one remembers the Warrior of Light. Their names, their faces, all gone forever. But I remember you, Inspector. No, gentleman hero Hildebrand. Unless it is dad. Oh, it's Naomi and Lily. I can never be a hero you were, but I'll do my best to try. Ray, remind you to yell at me to practice a Cockney accent. I, Nashu Inspector Extraordinaire, will carry on your legacy. I'm definitely going to draw attention to the fact when I switch characters' accents, if I switch them in Heaven's Word. I still use the ring I got from Godbert for that one quest at Bronze Lake. Nice. So I told myself, well, Nashu, there must be a leader, a head zombie who tells the rest what to do. Therefore, all we need to do is kill him. Again, that is. Unfortunately, I don't know where he is or how to find him. But now that you're here, my faithful assistant, you can try one good idea I've come up with so far. If you go to where the dapper zombies were last seen in southern Hydaelyn, you might find them. And then you could, you could become their friend and ask them to meet their leader. Yes, that's sure to work. That's a choice. I'm curious why he chose to be Inspector of all things, if it's not particularly his greatest talent. I mean, look, Sometimes you have a dream, and no one believes you can do it until you do it. Or you're just a dumbass. Either or, both work. Where is it? I know it's around here. It's where the rock is. Oh, participate in the fate. Okay. I guess we're gonna do fate clearing then while we wait in order to get the fate to spawn. I always find it really weird when they make you do a fate. Like, I get why for sometimes contextually, but it is odd because you have so little control over that. Like, what happens if it doesn't spawn anytime soon? Actually, it's a world boss. Well, that's not world boss. It's, well, you know, this should be fine. I can do that solo. Okay, milkshakes. Let's do it. I remember finding the zombies in the desert long before I knew anything about Hildebrand and thinking, what the heck is going on here? Yep, me too. Naturalists claim it takes almost 80 summers for an adamantoise to grow to full size. If this is to be believed, then one can only imagine how many summers it took for Aspidoshalin to achieve its colossal mass, or how much it had to consume. Well, if they're usually that big, and he seems to be at least ×2, if not close to ×3, I'm gonna go with 200 years. Yeah, but the main thing is helping people. Don't need to be an inspector to help people. He usually ends up helping in ways that don't involve detective work. He's not Batman. Well, but he kind of wants to be. So, like, I guess, here's the thing. It's not exactly like Hildebrand's self-aware, particularly. So to answer your question, it's mostly his lack of self-awareness and a desire for something has led him to go about doing something in a particular way that's not necessarily the most optimal, but works out well enough to continue doing it. That's effectively the answer. Come on, Milkshake, fuck him up. Yeah, Milkshake. Fuck him up. Now, okay. To all of you who have already done art, I really appreciate you. And this is not a call out for something, but I just like want to say, now I kind of want fan art of Milkshake. Because just like, we have to get a bard for her. Like, she needs, like, a look, right? You guys, hey guys, who wants to help me figure out Milkshake's look? Like, what sort of bard should we get? And, I mean, do we dye her white? Do we, like, get her so that she's dyed white in color? Or do we keep her yellow the whole time? I guess, I mean, it kind of depends on what sort of Milkshake, right? I mean, because in my mind, I always think vanilla, because that's what I like. But if anyone has any pitches for the like a good like combination of barding and like what fits Milkshake? It's more like Inspector Gadget. He gets things right by accident. Go Gadget humor. Hear me out, like a lilac coloring from feed for Milkshake. Okay, I'm listening. You gotta convince me, but I'm listening. I will listen to pitches. You haven't, I can't imagine why. Chocobo is white. My Chocobo on my main is also white. IDK white, but I'm picturing her in Shiva or blue feather barding. Okay. That can be worked with. Although some denizens of the first probably mistook her for. Of course, Vanilla Guy goes for white, the color of vanilla. Of course! What else would you do? Be sure to watch Milkshake's health. You don't want her feathers to move. Dez! I need to know, is your process, do you just sit here and just wait and all of a sudden like, okay, there's my chance, go. Like, is that how it works? Because whenever you do, you got one. And it's good. But I'm just like, I'm so curious. I want to change the color of my Chocobo, but I'm not sure if I can at all yet. Well, I know you have to be able to house them. Which means you have to have housing. Oh, fuck, there's the fate. Let's go, Chocobo. Let's go, Milkshake. I want to change the color of my Chocobo. A teeny tiny bit of yellow French vanilla Milkshake. Oh, Vixen. Vixen. I'm thinking that's where I want to go. I'm thinking I like that. Years of Xbox lobbies have made me good at quick thinking for jokes and insights. Ooh, Des, I appreciate that. As someone who played a lot of 360 online in the mid-2000s, not someone who used voice chat, someone who never used voice chat, because I was like, I ain't fucking dealing with this bullshit. I can see how that might have honed your skills. Maybe a cream color. I'm not sure how the color changing works. Yeah, it's basically there are technically the way that it works is that there are specific colors that can be changed too, but you get there by feeding food that like tilts it more and more towards that color. Can't you use this table outside apartment buildings even if you don't have an apartment? Is that true, Demins? I didn't know that. Oh, Ray Ray's over here helping with the fates. I had no idea, guys. That's Chocobo is stupidly complicated for no reason. I don't think it's that complicated, especially because there's like websites where you just put in what you want. It's like, you know, there's like a couple of fruit colors and you just feed it. It gives a different. I like that it's more of a mini game and not easy because then it means that like you actually have to work for it a bit. There's literally a website where you just put in input what you want and you just feed them that order if you like want to simplify it. Aubrey, odds of maybe we'd be able to change our Chocobo color with Island Sanctuary? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if we didn't have the ability to stable our Chocobo in Island Sanctuary, personally. Expectations low, but the secret one I have with the hate that you need a house for it. Yeah, I would definitely think that. No, I think you need an apartment to use it. Okay, well, barbecue, good to know. Maybe the Abigail barding. If milkshake is white, they can look like cookies and creams milkshake. Oh, Buddy, that's a good idea. By the way, did I say hi? Good to see you, glad to see you. No, Bud, he. Was that what you said yesterday? I'm so bad at this. Anyways, some sort of white pony hat, if possible, makes it look like whipped cream. I'm loving these ideas. I'm definitely loving these ideas. Oh yeah, I keep getting blue, but I forgot to change it back to desert yellow before I can change it to lavender. Ah, yeah. Tilting it gets wonky if you don't tilt it quite right. Thank you for telling me, Ray Ray, in FC chat. Band of zombies has been exhibiting uncharacteristically civilized behavior of late, which has greatly unnerved the people of Hydaelyn. Dispatch the dapper undead for the benefit of the living. You guys remember the ice cream cake song? It sounds familiar. It's triggering a memory, but I can't tell you why. Show the curious apartment to Nashu. Oh, okay. All the way back to Nashu. Thank you. Check to make sure, but yeah, you need an apartment. Well, at least getting an apartment's not like getting a house. Oh my god. Woo! Guys, I may literally have to go send my partner out to get caffeine, even though caffeine will make me sleep after an hour or two. Usually, well, it may even make me sleep right away. I am so tired. I have slept very little the past like 3 days. I think I've collectively got like 6 hours over the, and it's not like I'm taking care of myself. Just been having a hard time going to bed, like getting to sleep. Wait, did you find the zombies? You did? That's wonderful. I've been busy too. The head zombie will rule the day he meets me, you'll see. So tell me, what did you learn? Oh, so you were able to make new friends. You weren't able to make new friends. That's a shame. But this parchment, this map of the Sogoli Desert, there's a spot marked here in the south. And look, there's something written here. A gentleman is rather than does. That sort of reminds me, well, no matter. Let's see where the map takes us and Assistant, onward to the Sogoli! A gentleman is rather than does. Words to live by. Elio just pounding a monster and face planting asleep on the keyboard live stream. I'll try to avoid it unless for comedic effect. Also, I hate monster. I literally thought you meant an enemy, and then I realized, oh, you mean like the drink. No, I hate energy drinks. All of them taste like... What's something I can say on stream without getting my YouTube banned? I'm just gonna go with piss water. My Chocobo, Nuggy, is the typical sand yellow, and yet I think it's fitting for him since other colors just don't seem to fit. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. I've definitely, for a long time, didn't bother changing because it felt right. I only started changing my Chocobo to white when I'm trying to remember what the exact impetus was. I think it was the contrast with the fact that I got my final Dark Knight glam, and it just felt right to have her be white and me be black. That's not good. You've been sleeping well. Hopefully you can get some good night's sleep. Yeah, Jeffberry, thank you. I will, and I probably won't get much good sleep tonight because I have a lot of editing still to do for the video tomorrow. But do Gas Station have code red again? They do, Cal. They do. Maybe tea. So I have tea, but it usually doesn't have enough caffeine to do much. Also, seeing you do this inspired me to finally start Hildy. Awesome! Never did before. Doing it in red made to do the double stylish. Nice. Good, good, good. Yes. Let this all be an inspiration for you to definitely do anything. Go back and do anything. I love coffee and tea, but energy drinks are a big no for me. Yeah. I do like Mountain Dew. Like, I try to avoid it because it tends to make me crash, but, considering what most energy drinks have in them, piss water is a far more kind name. Exactly. I mean, how can you not? Nuggies is a good name. Nuggies is a great name. Wait, I don't think I misread the map. Maybe that's just shy, though. I say we call out to them and let them know that we've come in peace. And when the leader shows himself, we strike! Monster does look yellowish. Just saying. Summons a gentleman, dead man. They live, they live, and we hunger. Hey, my brothers, lend me your ears. A gentleman does not dine upon his guests. Spare the fine gentlemen and fair lady your mastications. Withdraw, I say, and harass them no more. Oh, up in the sky. Look, it's a bird. No, it's an airship. No, it's the inspector. Will you hear and obey? It is you. It really is you. I knew nothing could kill the great Inspector Hildebrand. Hey, Hildebrand. Who is this Hildebrand of whom you speak? My name is Zombibrand, devourer of brains, undead overlord extraordinaire. What are you saying? You're not an undead overlord. You're a gentleman inspector. Inspector. Overlord. Inspector. Overlord. Oh, Inspector, you're just confused is all. Don't worry, I'll knock some sense back into your noggin of yours. Say your hand, my lady. You know not what you do. Even if I were the esteemed gentleman to purport me to be, the concussive force would blast and more likely liquefy my... If crashing into the ground made you forget, then an explosion of equal force ought to make you remember. I'll save you, Inspector, or kill you trying! See, even if you acknowledge the possibility that this plan was result in my... death. Normally, I would applaud your ingenuity, Nashu, but I would have preferred that you found a more elegant solution. Ah, he remembers me. Inspector Hildebrand remembers me. Yes, yeah, I remember you, my faithful assistant. What I do not quite remember is how I came to be here. I do think it works surprisingly well, too. They're maybe swapping through some, like, faux Southern versus Johnny Bravo. Like, it may, like, undulate a little bit. Because it's hard to, like, switch between that and like, Nashu and stuff, but I'll try to keep it at least roughly in check. Rise from your grave. Oh, and don't forget Paladin questline too, Des. Ah, such wonderful dream. I slew a dragon, and... What is this place? And what, for that matter? Who am I? God, the lore of Hildebrand really is. Don't think about it. It really is. Ah, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, expector extraordinaire, have awoken at last! I always knew you'd come back to us. Be it red moon or black dragon, no fiend is a match for my legendary might. And who might this fine gentleman be, Could he perhaps be the one of my many, many admirers? And... oh, but what is that faint tingling sensation in my arm? This ringing in my ears? This dizziness? Could it be a case? On a related subject, the notebook looks great. Sadly, I couldn't buy it because of $30 shipping costs and PayPal. Oh, it's $30 shipping costs. Jesus, Brotherhood. But it made me wonder, what is the logo on the book? The logo on the book should be our logo. It should just be the Eorzean Archives logo. But I'll mention that in a second, Brotherhood. Also, if it's that much shipping, maybe we can try to figure out something else to work for you. If we can talk about that in the Discord. I'd be happy to figure that out. Just the exaggeration. My Chocobo's name is after the character from Riot Valorant, because I couldn't think of a better name. The power of cartoon violence to save the day. Deathberry, I'm glad it made you laugh. God, I love this stupid game. Congrats on your Necromancer title, Hildy. Welcome back. Yeah, I like the Naimi and Lily on his head, too. I like that. I wonder if the devs and animators just use this as a way to blow off steam and just have a little fun. I wouldn't be surprised. The lore of Hildebrand is there are things man was not meant to know. If he's just a bard who put everything in charisma and charisma checks his always way through in every encounter. Yep. I don't love or hate Hildebrand, but the emotes on their own are iconic. Question, talking about Ninja Quest, do we know any of the other languages spoken by the playable races? Because in the Ninja Quest, we find out that the ninja guy has problems with words and habits from Eorzea. Yeah, we know that there's other languages. We know, for instance, there's the Doman, Othardian languages. It's not always addressed. It's basically just assumed, oh, people can speak Common Eorzean. Sometimes it's gotten around because the Echo is a universal translator, but that doesn't explain some other things, like how the other Scions can talk to everyone. That's also a kind of a don't worry about it too much thing. If it's a case of something, probably in case of nuts. Oh, I meant the logo on the Book of Eorzean Archives profile pic logo. Oh, it looks like the Black Mage logo, but it's not precise. Oh, so it's the Meteor logo. It is the logo of Final Fantasy XIV. So, like, for instance, if you use the launcher of the Final Fantasy XIV and not Steam, it looks like this. I don't know if I just want to make sure. The link pearls can work like the universal translator in Star Trek. Well, nothing about their lore would suggest that, and also not everyone has them, Des. So I don't think that really works, but, you know, you could try to create rationalizations for that. Yeah, oh, the MSQ, well, I guess it's not the MSQ symbol right now. But, yeah, oh, yeah, you know what it is. It is around the edge. You can also see it here. Or also, literally, here. You can see it here as well. Excuse me real quick. Okay. I'm back. But yeah, that one is a 3D printed one I made. And it just hangs on my wall for ambience. Oh, it's Ray Ray flying to me on a motorcycle. Verily, I could be naught else. Somewhere nearby, dastardly doings are afoot, and only I can thwart them. Copious quantities of sand, unbearable heat. Aha! The Segoli Desert. I'd bet my life on it. Which means Uldad's but a short trek away. Yes, it's all fits. Only a den of inequity could so violently trigger my keen investigator senses. Fear not, law-abiding citizen. I just get more and more southern. Inspector Hillbrand shall soon deliver you from evil. Hey, those things that we are most often in our front of our faces are the quickest to become background. Beg your pardon? You wish to question me as to the whereabouts of the deviant running about town dressed in rags. Do I look like a reporter for the Mithril Eye? I do not consort with perverts. Nope, that's Samurai Quest. Thank you, Tethys. Now I'm reminded of Johnny Bravo making those flexing noises. Ha! To the mucka now! Oh, hey, Silver Nettle. Oi, what you're looking for, a half-naked Highlander, what likes to catch criminals. I think I'd remember a thing like that. If you do manage to find the inspector friend of yours, tell him to do something about the goddamn duelist me mate's pa cousin's kid's best friend lost his blade the other day to that bastard. Okay, someone definitely was watching a lot of Spaceballs when they wrote this. Hildy really should have changed clothes. I feel like that's almost the least of his problems, to be fair. Southern Elvis Hildebrand. There you go. Boatliff. Sorry, lad, but the information you want to be served best by going to Wimund. The only rumors I've heard are those about the weapon thief. Call himself a duelist or so I hear. But when you don't allow your opponents to refuse, well... Back to Wymond. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Oh wait, wrong thing. I take it you've dealt with the zombie problem, eh? So do tell just why we're dressing up like dandies. Hey, Wymond! Hey, Wymond! Oh, the almighty bugger with bleeding spear. The dead risen and they're walking the streets of Ul'dah. No need for melodrama, my good man. As you can see, reports of my death were greatly exaggerated. It's true. Oh, that was weird. It's true. He's not a zombie, I checked. I don't know why I can't also do Nashu. Aye, you do seem to have a hale and healthy, which begs the question. How in the seven hells did you survive that fall? Why, question divine providence. What matters is that Eorzean's champion has returned, and that he, and by that I mean I, shall bring the thieving duelist to justice. Heard about that, did ye? Might be hard to think, harder than you think. Even I've got no inkling on the fellow's current whereabouts. Inconceivable. I refuse to believe that that ever-inquisitive, ever-ambitious, ever-reliable Wymond is without a single shred of information, even one of dubious relevance. Well, I make no promises, mind you, but there was some talk of a fair maiden, but said her most. This knave assaulted a young woman as well? The audacity! I should fly to her side at... Why, if it isn't the gentleman from the Segoli! A serendipitous encounter indeed, unless you seek two belligerent duelists. Capital! It'll be invigorating to engage in a friendly battle of wits. Already the spirit competition fills me. Come now, Shu, we must fly away! Damn it, Hildy. I already told you the lass's name, yet. I haven't told you the lass's name yet. That was weird. Well, Elio, you might as well go after him. He'll be disappointed if you don't. The lady in question is named Yellow Moon. She's a woman with a taste for the finer things in life. Safe to say, you'll be getting fit in something in the Weaver's Guild most every day. Good luck with the inspecting inspector. Real quick, while we do this, I'm curious, where did the Hildebrand quest stop and start? In terms of, like, when did... Oh, so do they all begin in Realm Awoken? Okay. Price of Principles. No, wait, what? No. First and release. Control F. Price. Oh, that's because I'm looking at the MSQ. That would fucking do. That would definitely do it. After our own heart. There we go. Okay, so we're about to finish the 2.1. Interesting. Okay. He has comedic character powers. Yep. Don't think about it too much. Oh, right. I should have come back in there. My beloved pure heart was unlike any wand you've ever seen. Elegant, refined, the pure accessory for a cultured woman. You'll bring it back to me, won't you? A priceless possession callously ripped from the hands of its owner. The lady weeps, the wind bears her sorrow onto his ears. What a gentleman would could hear this clarion call and not beg the honor of a champion in her cause. What in the world? I swear to you, here and now, I, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, shall scour all creation, from the deepest pits of the seven hells to the very pinnacles of the heavens, for your pure heart. Oi, what he said? And you, my fellow servant of justice, I see your instincts are not to be underestimated, having guided you to this fair maiden's side. Now then, Miss Moon, what can you tell us about the theft? Thefts? Sir, to be precise, my pure heart was only the most recent item to be taken from me. I'm certain I had it when I left home the other day. As I browsed through the latest fashion at Sunsilk and took in the match at the Colosseum, I realized it was gone. So the time and location of the theft are unknown. Essential details without which we cannot solve the case. There's but one logical course of action, Miss Moon. To coax the hidden clues from your memories, we must reenact that faithful day's excursions to Sunsilk tapestries. I'm starting to think that we are all tired today. Because I'm not very vocal. And I feel like this is like the quietest I've seen you guys since like, man, maybe like some of the earliest streams. It's not a call out. No one needs to talk. I'm just like, it's interesting because I'm so used to the constant cadence with everyone. Miss Moon, would you be so kind as to describe your visit in detail on the day in question? Nothing unusual happened, but if you insist, I was pondering whether or not to purchase a new dress when a man approached me and confessed his undying love. What sort of man says that to a complete stranger, I ask you? Naturally, I was taken aback. I dropped my purse in shock, not intentionally on his foot, and he cried out in pain and fled. If I may be so bold, Miss Moon, that strikes me as most unusual happening. In any case, it appears to be completely unrelated to the theft. Let us next proceed to the Coliseum and see what you remember. Me too, Nashu. Me too. I think I would remember to go to the Pugilist Guild. It's very cloudy. I've been sprinkling here all day. It's a very sleepy day. Yeah, it's that way here too. Demins, wait. Demins. Maybe no. Maybe it's not you, Demins. I forget who it is. Someone else in our Discord, I was just mentioning this, lives very close to me. And so I just realized that, like, actually for at least some of you guys, or at least one of you guys is probably, like, damn near the same weather. I'm just enjoying your voices while I do the quest myself. Good. Yeah, good. Chat is stunned in silence by Hildy's magnificence. It's a lot quieter than Saturday. Yeah, it's not a problem. It's just, it's interesting. I'll be honest, when I went to thank you all, I got sick earlier this month and then laid off. All 100 things out of my control. You're all being smiled in my face and thank you, I found you. Oh, Aaron, I'm glad that we can provide some comfort. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah, no, I hope that this provides some kind of distraction or that the Discord is helpful in feeling a little bit better. Just a bit. I was up at 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep either. Okay, I think just all of us are having all of us are having a bit of a time, or all of us are having a bit of sleep lack. I know Ray's also had a bit of some sleep troubles. That is while I'm playing my new character, just wanted every NPC lore tidbits that I didn't care to pay attention to before. Yeah, there's so much Brotherhood. It's crazy. Me, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, it was UD. I was like, no, it's not, because I was thinking D. It is UD. Okay. Was up until 3 a.m. this morning, stupidly, so I share the sentiment of being tired. Yeah. Okay. It's yeah. 90 degrees for some of you. Yeah. Sorry, I was eating lunch. No. No one needs to be sorry. No one needs to feel like they need to talk. It was merely, I wanted to draw attention to it because it was curious to me. And I was wondering if it was so to take a second, I was wondering if it was a byproduct of people being tired, indisposed. If it was, you know, I mean, streaming's still relatively new to me. I was wondering if it was a byproduct of the ways in which I engage with you guys, because if I stimulate conversation with something, that can get things going. And was it a lack of topical things preventing people from choosing to engage? Or was it, and just, you know, I just think about that kind of stuff. I'm leveling and dealing with light cold. Oh, Rory, I hope you feel better. Sunny, warm day here in Canada where I'm just chilling, doing Archons quests, gonna rank up today. Nice! By the way, don't forget, if you haven't been doing them, it is Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday. You can finish Emeliance's delivery quests and dress her up as Will. Also, if you don't want to see, what's the best way to put this? If you don't want to see provocatively dressed Emeliance, don't go on the internet for a bit. I was up till past 4 a.m. on some project or other. Yep. I was up until about 10 a.m. and then went to bed at 10 a.m., got up about noon, and then I was prepping. I was either doing editing or prepping for this the whole time. Just naturally quiet, working on a Lego project. Ooh, I love Lego. What kind of Lego project? It's been very enjoyable relaxing. Good, Sarah. Good. Congrats with the rank up. Yeah. Dude, the Archons quests are great. All the tribal quests are awesome. Once again, Miss Moon, if you will be so kind as to tell us what you remember. Well, like before, nothing unusual happened. I felt like gambling that day, was debating which match to observe, when a gladiator approached me from behind and confessed his undying love. Naturally, I was taken aback and whirled about and struck the man in the face with my purse. In shock, not unintentionally. Unfortunately, since I was carrying a tremendous sum of money, my purse weighed about 60 pounds, and the blow was enough to render him unconscious. 120 pounds! Miss Moon, you are a remarkably strong woman. Which precisely why you were targeted. It's so obvious in hindsight. The thief bore you a grudge. No, it's more than that. He hated you with a passion. Nashu just not even looking. Ooh. There sure are a lot of giant crates in Urda, at the Weaver's Guild, at Sunsilk Tapestries, and here too. What do you mean the crates don't talk? These crates are everywhere, Leo. I wonder what's inside. I don't see how we can open. Ah, of course! I still have plenty of explosives! Here, why don't you try this? It'll be fun! Hey, Timt! Good to see Timt? Up to you. Good to see you, glad to have you. Finish the custom deliveries, and I'm finding it hard to find pants that fit with the jacket. Yeah, making it work can be hard. Flower bouquet. I'm still, oh, a flower bouquet Lego. Oh, that seems lovely, Sarah. Are you gonna, like, is that for someone? Or are you gonna, like, put it in something? I would love to know. Yeah. I'm just staring at Hildy's gorgeous abs. The twins will heavily reconsider their association with me after today. I would point out that if you look at all of the text from Emelian's, she literally kind of implores you to make Fortunal blush. So I don't even think, you know, well, I guess maybe the twins might, but Emelian's is on your side. Think of the children. Think of the children. Nah, she was a pyromaniac. Yep. 120 pounds. How did this game get my weight? I'm 24-year-old male. First time watching Nashu being from Wisconsin just made me die laughing. Good to have you. Nashu would be one to randomly use explosive. Yeah. Question: how did the Borderland Ruins frontline map Allegan Ruins and the Cardinal Flats dispute end? It in a sense, it never did. Effectively, it just became neutral ground. The frontline, they talk about a little bit about this after the Cardinal restoration bill stuff in 2.x, and a little bit in 3.3 on, and then even touch on it again a little bit in 5.x. The front lines is less about determining control ultimately and more about making the space a neutral ground ultimately. It's about basically having contests there on the reg where everyone is involved, ergo everyone's in the space, ergo everyone is, no one person dominates it. You know, it's ironically, it's less about determining who has control and more about making that control relatively even through a form of friendly conflict. Just going to the vase in your room, that'll be cute. Feel free to share that in the screenshots if you want to avoid. Obviously, you know, no personal information if you want to avoid all of that, obviously. But if you'd love to share a picture of it, I'd love to see it. Now she reminds me so much of the headcanon I have for my Bicote when it comes to minor inconveniences. What is that Emmeline's thing you mentioned about dressing up? You mentioned is that adventures. So Brotherhood, there are NPCs in every expansion that you can do what are called custom deliveries, and over the course of about 3 or 4 weeks, you can deliver items to them. For them, and when you finish their quest, you get to you can dress them up however you want. So, for instance, there's the Ruby Princess and Stormblood, as well as Minago. Although I forget, can you dress up Minago? There's a bunch of different people. For Endwalker, it's Emelian's, the twins' mother. So a lot of people are now dressing up the twins' mother in rather provocative clothing. The writers knew exactly what they were enabling Emelian's custom deliveries to do. I agree, Demins. I will say to their credit that the Emelian's that they wrote in Endwalker and in those custom deliveries, absolutely, it does not feel like character assassination for her to go along with it. It does feel like that's in character for her. Minorly inconvenienced by obstacle in any way, shape, or form. Blow it up. Gotta run. See you, the barbecue. Good to see you. It was glad to have you. Sure. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, now she was a sister who's part of the idol group, the Songbirds, who appears a little later. Right, I forgot about that, Ray Ray. As having a Warrior of Light is very close to the twins' age, she's 17. Walking around the overworld seeking scantily dressed characters really makes me reconsider how I raise my own characters. Think Kai Shear and Shadow. Yeah, okay. Is it Kai Shear that you can dress up? I forgot if it was Kai Shear. Because I know it was the bee, the honeybee. What's it called in 14? I'm forgetting what it's called specifically in 14. But yeah, I forgot if it was Kai Shear that you could specifically dress up. I'm guessing you need to do a bunch of the previous delivery quests to get there because I don't have it. I don't think you do. You can't dress up Minago, but you can dress up Jlo. Yes. Okay, right. Hey, Power, good to see you. Glad to have you. I think Minago's mom said no to the dress up. Yeah, something like that. It is Kai Shear? Cool. At the heart of every crime rests a single, unassailable truth, reached only by navigating a web of falsehoods and contradictions. Hearken to me now, for as shippers leads his flock, I shall guide you to my most irrefutable conclusion. A gladiator professes his feelings only to be rejected, and physically assaulted in response. Wounding his pride as a warrior and man, resenting his powers while recognizing his weakness, he carries out a more feasible vengeance. He robs Yellow Moon of her weapon, the pure heart. Oi, Inspector, we found the pure heart. These strange men sneaking around town in wooden crates had it. It's not what you think. We're not thieves. We're devotees. Yellow Moon is our sun and star, and we only wish to keep her safe from harm. And should she misplace an item from time to time, we collect it for safekeeping. Nothing untoward. What deviants What deviants were behind all thefts all this time? You've been stalking me. What nerve? This seems relevant, but I couldn't tell you why. Ah, such unbridled fury, such righteous indignation. We should be glad to accept the goddess's punishment. They're simps. Goddess's devotees? Ah, but of course. Then I had you inspect those crates was a stroke of genius indeed. Ah, as I was elucidating but a moment ago, those fiends are obviously the ones responsible for the recent rash of weapon thefts, as... Those thefts were carried out by a single individual, you imbecile. Who is it and what voice are we gonna do? Oh, lest you've forgotten, the culprit is a duelist. He only claims his victim's weapon after defeating them in single combat. If your powers of observation are as great as you claim, you should have deduced those buffoons and boxes were incapable of such an act. I should have known. I'm a reporter for the Mithril Eye. My name is Ellie, and I've been investigating the incidents for weeks. Inspector Hildebrand, gentleman investigator and agent of inquiry, I presume. You're looking well for a dead man. Would you like to meet one of the duelist's victims? I'll introduce you with pleasure. You would be willing to share such precious information with me. Your generosity is commendable, Miss Ellie, but may this mark the beginning of a long and beautiful friendship. Yes, very good. The name of the man is... Huh? Where the bloody hells do you think you're going? I haven't told you anything yet. Is it a time-sensitive thing? Nope. Would be able to get the conversation when I finally get to Endwalker? Yes. None of the custom deliveries are time-sensitive. They're like tribal quests, effectively, in terms of like things you can do. Now, you can only do like what 6? You can only do progress a certain amount each week, but no, they're not. Yeah. Charlemagne and Firmament. Thank you for that reminder, Power. Yeah. There will be several side quests you need to do. Thanks, Tim. So there's Sims. Yep. Oh man, if we could get Elto different hats. Oh my god, that would be so cute, Aubrey. At least we get her as a mount. True. Tethys sounds fun, but I'm nowhere near there. Yeah, just don't forget Brotherhood. You can do them for each expansion already. So for instance, there are ones in Heaven's Words, there are ones in Stormblood, there are ones in Shadowbringers, and there's one in Endwalker. Yay, Aliar, dose of common sense for this quest. You can do 12 custom deliveries per week, 6 per NPC. Right, that's true. It's been so long since I've had to do 12, and right now I can only do 6 per week, that I totally forgot that you technically can progress 2 sets of 6 at the same time. I suppose since you're the imbecile's friend, you intend to help him. The man you want to find is an adventurer named Humphrey. At present, he can be found at the Golden Bazaar. With luck, the good inspector may find his way there by the time you arrive. If not, then so be it. I wonder what will happen when he discovers that the victim is the perpetrator as well. Said Golden Bazaar, right? Yeah. Sad I can't see a fancy red mage hat for my chocobo. Isn't there one? I swear, am I going crazy? I feel like there is a fancy red mage hat for the chocobo. Can someone help me with this? Can someone confirm or deny me on this? Because I swear to God, that is a thing. Yeah, I'm almost certain there's a red mage barding. Yep, there is a red mage barding. I think there's a red mage barding drops in Eureka. Well, we can always do Eureka as a community thing and make sure people get that if you want it. I also think that there's like it's full on knight helm. Oh, I see, you want a cloth helm? Am I wrong? I think there's another helm that is more in line. You know what? Just give me a second. Chocobo. Bardings. I know, I'm getting off track again. Sue me, it's my stream. I swear that there is at least one barding that has more like a clothy hat, like a red mage. I mean, there's always the post-Moogle hat, too. Okay. Nope, wasn't the Alamegan barding. No, wasn't the Far Eastern barding. Aw, the Paramore barding is adorable. Red Mage, Onion Knight. No. Well, okay. What about the Paramore or Saintly bardings? Those probably don't fit. There's also the Thavnarian barding. What about the Saintly barding? Because that's a pretty cute hat. I mean, that's not really a dapper red mage hat, so that might not fit, but I'm curious. Hey, lady! Good to see you. Glad to have you. Everything's going good. Hi, Humphrey. And you are? At last, I've caught up with you. You there, young sir. I'm told you were a victim of the marauding duelists. Me? A victim? Ah! How amusing. You amuse me. True, I was challenged by the duelist not long ago, but where he thought to find a whelp, he found a warrior of light instead. I defended my honor and my blade. See for yourself. Oh, you mean you won? That's amazing. Haha, well, it's nothing compared to what I faced at Cartnow. Magitech to the right of us, Magitech to the left, stuck in the middle with Master Louis. With Master Lou. We were. Core, he was a dab hand with the old magic, he was. I tried to save him, of course, but there's a limit to how many giant beasties as a man can. That man is no warrior of light. Tell them, Elazar. Tell them how he lost and surrendered the sword that was not his own. Liar! Scoundrel! I trusted that bastard with me father's blade, bid him take it to his smithy for restoration. Even gave him the guild to pay for it. Then he comes back, crawling, sniveling, and begging for forgiveness for losing it to in a duel. As if that's enough to set things right. Look at me, you bleeding whore, son. Look at me! Me flowing golden locks are no more. I've gone bald from the stress and heartbreak. I swear to everything holy that you'll face a reckoning if you don't bring it back to me. All right, I'll beat the shit out of me. He beat the shit out of me and took the old man's sword. I used the guild to pay the Eorzean, and I have no idea where he or the sword is. What am I supposed to do, huh? I can't give him what I don't have, unless you help me find the sword. That's what you do, right? Help people. Have you no shame? First you claim the legacy's not your own, then you beg others to help you with the problems of your making. You will refuse this man, won't you, Inspector? What of Elazar, flowing golden locks? How will forsaken young Humphrey help the man he was wronged? We shall begin our search before the sword's questioning and the people of the Golden Bazaar. Let's catch up on you guys. Lots of cool stuff drops in Eureka lockboxes. Very true. We should do Eureka farming sometime. Then you can sell them at because of duplicates. Yeah. Question: Alvino gets the Endwalker. Does the reason Alice becomes a red mage as a Reaper, or do they change classes before Endwalker? So Alice, this is not an Endwalker spoiler, and we won't go into Endwalkers. Alice becomes a red mage at the beginning of, or actually, no, sorry. Alice became a red mage technically on her travels. She learned the art of the red mage once she left. She met with Zrun Tia and became a red mage during the time of Heaven's Word. So technically, she's already a red mage by the time you meet back up with her. As for Reaper, I can't go into it for Endwalker reasons, but if you want to know more about Reapers, go watch my video on them. The thing about Reapers is unless you're Garlean, you're not likely to be a Reaper. Because the art is very specific to them, and while others can, if you're not a Lemure, you're not likely to join their order at this point. Thank you, Ray Ray. Thanks, lady. She's actually first signed to have a job change. Is that true? I think that's true. Well, no, because he's still rogue. No. I think you're right. Actually, no. Question. When Y'shtola comes back, she's technically a thaumaturge or a black mage instead of a conjurer. So I should check the files for that power, but you might be right. Tends to be when we get to 2 classes on the Scions, main cats get one of them. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I guess I thought it was a promotion of the Endwalker expansion. Never mind. No, it was Brotherhood. She's just being careful because we're trying to be very careful about spoilers. You don't feel bad. You're fine. Yeah. I might be out of the way from the storyline, but the Hildebrand quests have some decent lore here too. Yes, they do. Hey, Scribe. Good to see you. Glad to have you. I'm glad to hear your take on Hildebrand's voice. Good. Power. Good. Because both Alice and Alvino start as Arcanists. Yes. Still, she uses Conjurer skills in 4.4. Yeah, she uses Conjurer skills up onto... What I would say is, it depends on how you want to frame it. So the thing is to remember is that most people in the world, there's not these hard delineating lines for practices that we tend to think of. Like, it's not... You can use Conjury and Thaumaturgy together. There's nothing stopping that. But most people don't. Most people tend to go into one practice. And so as a job, I think by the time of let's look it up. Let's look up what the game classifies her as. FFXIV Y'shtola, because the problem is her gear is Black Mage gear as it goes on, which means that she probably is coded. Yeah, so she's originally was a conjurer and becomes a sorceress, but the sorceress change does not happen until Shadowbringers. So she's technically classified as conjurer still during Heavensward, so power is correct. The first person to actually go through an actual job change would be Alice. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, she'll become Black Mage and Shadowbringers. Yeah, the reason I was bringing that up, though, is because think about how she fights in Stormblood, and think about her get-up attire and some of the actions she takes during Heavensward as well. I wanted to make sure. Y'shtola in the lore she was never just a conjurer or thaumaturge, she's simply a mage. Yeah, this is not so much about whether the lore says, more specifically what the game classifies. Isn't true Black Mage for the gameplay version, she fights like one. Yeah. Oh, I thought Y'shtola also changed an Endwalker for some reason. No. The Eorzean became an Astro. Yeah, Eorzean became an Astro in Shadowbringers. Thancred was first to switch up. No, Thancred doesn't become a Gunbreaker until Shadowbringers. So, and he's a rogue before that. Thancred FFXIV. Okay, so in 1.0, or originally he's classified as a gladiator in 1.0, becomes a rogue in A Realm Reborn and Gunbreaker and Shadowbringers. So I guess technically he's the first to shift if you technically are going by 1.0. That or, well, it says original. I wonder if by original what they mean is during A Realm Reborn 2.0, he's technically classified as a gladiator, but because he doesn't fight really until 2.x, when you see him obviously like fighting the Sahagins and stuff with the dual daggers, if that's when they start classifying him as rogue. And so they actually, maybe it's not, it says original, but this is in reference to A Realm Reborn. So I think technically within the confines of the game, in terms of how it defines characters, technically Thancred is first. However, it effectively means nothing because he never does any fighting in A Realm Reborn. One of the patches, a certain trust got their job changed from dancer to guard captain. Oh, yeah. They did change it to have more flavor. Yep. Wasn't Thancred a rogue gladiator 1.0? Yeah. Yes. It depends on, yes. I would never tell he was a gladiator. But yeah, because he doesn't even do any fighting. But Thancred's knowing 11 rogues makes sense. Earlier, he fights with just a single dagger like a glad. Yeah. Yeah. Thancred is gunbreaker training while infantry. Garlemald looks like he picked up enough to make proper use of gun. Well, yeah, he was also chained by, yeah. Oh, yeah, you said this. Had gunbreaker training while infiltrating Garlemald. I mean, well, he got gunbreaker training from the Bajin, groups. Is it because the rogue didn't come out until 2.15? It's quite possible, Tim. That's probably why. I mean, it has to be why, because they wouldn't have had it beforehand. But also it matches his character as a spy and, intelligence gatherer more. He did say he chose the gunblade for its offensive advantages. Yep, Thancred does fight in A Realm Reborn if you start in Ul'dah. Yeah, but he doesn't really. Like, yes, there's a little, but hardly. I mean, almost no one really fights in A Realm Reborn. But yes, Elvin, you are technically correct. Does being possessed by an Ascian count as a job change? No. Thancred does a bunch of espionage in 2.0, which fits rogue much better. Yeah. What was the point about music I had? Oh, yo, weird question. Guys, so, I was trying to fall asleep, and so I was listening to a bunch of music, and one of the things I was listening to was, like, J-rock. Do you ever hear a song from, like, it can be from, like, a video game, like, for instance, like, Silent Hill. Some Silent Hill music does this, too, but, like, I will listen to J-rock, certain J-rock songs, and get a really strong imagery of, like, the Tokyo skyline in the mid-2000s. Except for I had never been to Tokyo in the mid-2000s. I only ever went to Tokyo in, like, 2016, 2017. So, like, I don't even know why I get that imagery so fiercely. Just the fact that something can evoke imagery that is not representational. That's representational of the real world, and yet it's not representational of, like, a place in actuality. And yet how it can also represent a time in a place you hadn't been is fascinating. That's a weird possibility, though. Just Papalimo, can't remember how to spell his name. You're close enough. Heal you when you start in Gridania, even though he's a thaumaturge. I don't know offhand. That would make sense, though. A lot of older anime used it. Yeah. A lot of shows use J-Rock, and so that's... Yeah, a lot of it. So also, I mean, like, here's the thing. We also have to be careful, because, for instance, Lucia casts Cure in Heaven's Word. Now, she's a full-blood Garlean, so how she's casting Cure is anyone's guess. There are a couple of there's a couple of ways to speculate and justify it. My personal favorite is that instead of actually casting Cure, she's just throwing a potion at you really fast. I'd go with anime. Yeah, I guess the thing that's interesting about it, though, is that I didn't watch a lot of anime in that period, and I don't watch a lot of anime. And the thing that gave me that feeling most strongly is something like End of a Quiet Sanctuary from not Dark Souls, Silent Hill 3. And it's just interesting. Sounds like an instance of the Echo without context. Yeah. Is there some lo-fi I listen to gives me images of watching sakura blossoms going down a river somewhere in Japan? Yeah, nice, Tim. Yeah. It's interesting how how our imagination can be rooted in nothing and in something at the same time. I meant the skyline. Oh, older animes use the skyline. Yeah, except for this is here, let me put it this way. It reminds me of a period in Japan that I never went to. However, I had been to Tokyo in the 20-teens, and it evoked that same feeling of being there at that point, but a different imagery. It's just, the human mind is fascinating. I get that with Michael Bublé. Elvis, some games give me, Roaring 20 vibes. It gets you where you come from. Yeah, I know it's a really random off-topic thing. I just, like, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, maybe the first solo instance where you get the first crystal nearly unless you run out of time. Unsoloable unless you run out of time. Okay, interesting. In conclusion, brains are weird. Antique swords? Oh, I haven't the foggiest about that. The traveling merchant Jonjumpa is the one you ought to seek. Speak with, assuming he hasn't left. Yeah, Glory Hammer makes me feel patriotic for Fantasy Scotland. Yeah, I will say, like, Scottish and Irish drinking songs, like, give that me to, like, anytime I hear the Parting Glass, it's funny. I also get it with some Wombat songs. Takes me right back to standing outside the main train station in Liverpool. Yeah. Oh, it's a Lalafell. It's a Lady Lalafell. Well, that doesn't change whether we go deep or high. Where are my coins? Where are my coins? Oh.
That boy should be ashamed of himself. Robbing poor Elazar of a priceless family heirloom just goes to show that you never trust an adventurer who claims to be the warrior of light. Thieves and tricksters, the lot of them. It may not be the most honorable solution, but mayhap you should consider giving Elazar a counterfeit blade. If the deception brings him peace in his final days, wouldn't it be so wrong?
Elazar's sword? Wasn't much to look at, but at least it was authentic. More than a few collectors have been tricked into purchasing counterfeit relics. The Unicorn Invasion of Dundee. That is a reference I do not get. Also, Ray Ray, I'm so glad that I picked up on your reference, your Buffy reference you made last night. Time is an illusion. Oh. This Lalafell Okay.
I'm afraid I have no knowledge of an ancient sword, at least not one that I can guarantee to be authentic. You see, any wares I determine to be dubious of origins, I immediately discard in the springs east of Camp Drybone. Although I have no sword for sale at present, I may have disposed of a facsimile similar in design to the one you describe.
This presents a quandary. Though I am loath to deceive an honorable man like Eorzean, a well-intentioned ruse may put his heart at ease, thus spurring the rejuvenation of his flowing golden locks, while we continue to search for the genuine article. Well, if there is a sword in the spring, I won't remain there for long. It's one of the more convenient sources of fresh water for the common folk in Camp Drybone. Tisk tisk, you should endeavor to be more optimistic, Miss Ellie. Like me, I say we search the spring before declaring all to be lost. Hey, Sonny, good to see you, glad to have you. Wait, what was the coin flip for? How deep the voice should go? Yeah, so every time we get a Lalafell, I flip a coin. Heads, deep voice, tails, high voice. Unless it's a Lalafell who we know their voice, and then I just will perform their voice. God is Hi or Yu Yu Hase. There's no in between. The Lala is God. You think Lalafells are hard to tell male female unless they're facial hair? Try to tell the difference between their cousins and the dwarves when they're wearing their helmets. Yeah, you really have like very few if any indicators when they're for the dwarves. It's if they're wearing their scarves. I do declare, it occurs to me that I am not yet fully recovered from my accumulated injuries. It would not be prudent to immerse my body in the water. Not without the first coating it with a liberal application of salamander oil, that is. Indeed, on many occasions, my dearest mother tended my childhood scrapes just so. You understand the importance of physical rehabilitation, yes? Then you can assist me by pouring oil all over my body. The body is but an instrument in an occasional need of oiling. So come, my friend, come and oil me up. I'm so jealous of Elio right now. Oh, Teth. Ah, the comforting scent as though I am a child in her arms. Quickly now, before it dries, I need the oil into my aching flesh. Flesh. Ah, the pain manifolds. Gently now, gently. Oh, gods. Oh, gods. Oh, God. Yes, at last. My muscles slacken and soften. The warmth spreads and the pain becomes pleasure. Right there, yes. Keep doing that, just like that. Just like, oh, yes. Now once more, with feeling. Speaking of Buffy. Let's get it on. I've been really trying, baby. Trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, oh, let's get it on. Never before have I received such splendid ministrations. Now then, into the spring. You as well, my good man. I did this as a white mage and just, why can't I just heal you? Look. Healing fixes immediate injuries for the body to repair. But oiling and lubrication, let me put it this way. There's a difference between getting stitches and getting a massage, right? That is why. That is your answer, Aaron. Hello, friends. Hey, Ren, good to see you, glad to have you. The Asian simp. Definitely glad you could join us. Demins, good call out. I have Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On in my brain all the time for some reason. That was more suggestive and provocative than I meant it. But no, I do have that song stuck in my head, and I have since for the better part of almost 2 decades. I think at one point that was my ringtone. I'm sorry, but this is so creepy. I haven't done this quest. Also, I'm playing on sides and basically only listening to this, and suddenly Elio's like, oil me up. It just occurred to me that Sid may have gone through a job change, technically speaking, priest to engineer. There you go. Well, okay, here's the thing. Are we defining it as the job change in terms of lore or the job change in terms of mechanically? Because I'm focusing on mechanically. That is my reference point for when things, the disparate lines between them. It's a banger of a song, Elliot. It is. It is. Thank you, Tiff. Well, I'm sure what your character did was very important in this case. We can all trust you're a wonderful warrior of light to do a good job with any trouble, even if it means oily, weird inspectors. Indeed, lady. Indeed. And a massage helps out. Jokies. I was laughing so hard when I did it. Yeah. Have you never got a massage, Aaron? You definitely get loose and limber. Actually, I haven't had a massage in a long time. I ain't got money for that shit. I gotta spend it on video games. Namely, this video game. Oh, you've been productive. Excellent. May I see what you found? Never, though I gave a real good one, apparently. Oh, well, you should get one, Aaron. No sign of sword of John Paul mentioned, I see. Oh, now I'm all wet. Why do I feel like Ray Ray's excited? Somewhere thousands of miles away, I can feel Ray Ray's excitement. What was that, anyway? Did something cause you to... Once again, my instincts have guided us onto our quarry. That I had you search the section of the spring was a stroke of Achoo! Oh, Inspector, it's bad for your help to conduct investigation in those clothes. I'll go to Ul'dah and fetch you some new ones. How thoughtful of you, Nashu. While you're there, purchase a few bottles of hair tonic for Elazar as well. The newest, most potent blend if you can find. Are those dots disagreement, Ray, or is that because you're being called out accurately? It is now wonderful, my friend. Soon all of Elazar's woe will be no more. Yeah, work has been massaging my angry button, but I have to deal with it so I can save up and buy Dragonflight Collector's Edition. Well, Rin, I'm sorry that it's pushing your buttons, but I do hope that you get your Collector Edition for WoW. Man, playing WoW and 14 at the same time has got to be a lot. Well, I mean, 14 is really good about not making you have to play every day to get the most out of it. So I guess 14's... It's really easy to splash other games in with 14. Like, I mean, Yoshi P stated intentionally they designed it that way and want that to be the case. But WoW is hard because it has less in the way of room for that. As a massage therapist, even I have trouble getting myself a massage. Aurora, you have my empathy to you, but like also like, yeah, ain't that the fucking truth? If only we can massage ourselves. There are always those $5 massage chairs at the mall. When was the last time one of you had one of those and felt actually relaxed afterwards? And if the answer is you have, power to you. Oil and kneading sounds like a job for a buff culinarian to take care of them aching muscles. Professional massages are expensive, but the one time I had one, it was so good. Yeah, there are some cheap places around here that are pretty good, that you can do, like, get a pretty good one for like an hour for like 30 bucks. But I can never justify spending that extra money. Oh, speaking of, I ordered the Cactar Piggy Bank, so thanks to everyone for funding that. I need to set up a new funding goal. Time for Kino. Quite easy. I mean, a good design of MMO is where you don't have to be stuck in the game in order to achieve something. Yeah, definitely. That is definitely how it do be, though, lady. Yeah. Oh, I spend more time playing FF14 right now because Shadowlands isn't. Look, I try not to jump on WoW. Honestly, I'm much more angry at Blizzard than I am WoW, which I think is broadly actually a fair sentiment. But yeah, Shadowlands has been, to put it uncontentionally, an unmitigated disaster. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics if you made a retail manager simulator, but Dragonflight is fixing my problems. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's fine. They must have run out. Hey! Who wants to see Deadpool? Oh, hi. Hi. You want to see the people? You want to see the people? Come here. Ready? Oof. You went down? Yeah? You're ready to go down. There you go. Thank you so much. Ugh. I know I can always get chat's attention. All I have to do is use Deadpool. You know, the thing I'll say about Shadowlands is I was actually potentially, because I played Classic when it came out, because I had played Vanilla to War After the Lich King, so I was excited. I played Classic. I had a good time. I was gonna try Shadowlands because I had friends who played, and then I saw the Covenant system and the tying of abilities to it, and I just went, nah. That alone was a red flag, and then I'm sad to say a lot of all the things that made me go, ended up being correct. New funding goal dinner. I mean, but actually, Myths, the amounts of times that that's been true with us in the stream, like, to be fair, any of the time that we've had surplus funds from the super chats for the stream, those do actually end up going towards paying for like a $10 dinner, so I can actually eat something a little bit nicer rather than ramen or some other cheap thing, super cheap thing. Puppy, Deadpool, puppy, poppers, puppas, dodge, puppy, puppa, food and pup. I'm in need of one. Seriously, the electric massages are painful for me, but real table massages are so good. Yeah. I'm in need of one or need to go to chiropractor. My back is desperate, in need of relief. Some days I feel like resting my back on something pointy or whole, like just to jab into it. Yeah, definitely do, AC. I definitely recommend that. I've got a grind for Star Trek Online coming up, summer event, but that will only be if the ship is real cool. Well, hey, you know, like, if the thing is, if you're down for it and you want it, then it's, you know, that's great. I tried a week of Shadowlands, and well, my heart got completely broken and haven't returned since. I used to love WoW, used to setting mainly a story, but it pains me to see what's happened to it. Yeah. I'm lucky in a sense because I left at Wrath of the Lich King. I have like I left within the classic era, and that is how the game's defined for me. And so I didn't see the undulations and difficulties of Cataclysm onward. I have 18,000 hours, Jesus, in WoW, and Shadowlands has made me contract stage 5 depression, or rather, it's just worsened my already awful depression. I'm sorry, Rin. I hope for your sake and for many others, that Dragonflight is good, and that the ideas that they're taking from 14 and Guild Wars 2 help revitalize it, because there's a lot of them, and I don't think it's a bad thing. 14 took a lot from WoW when 2.0 launched. It's very normal for MMOs to do that. It's not like, oh, they're plagiarizing, but it is a bit egregious a little bit with some of the stuff that WoW is pretending like they're coming up with it when it is straight up using mechanics from other games, and but they should. And I do hope that they are able to turn the ship around. My only worry is that those who want to turn the ship around don't have enough power to make that institutionalized. Good. Dogs do make you feel good. And Deadpool is a very, very good dog. Yeah. Do I need to buy another snack? Look, I'll always take more snacks. Here's the thing. I always want fast food. Like right now I desperately want to go to Taco Bell. But I typically don't try to vocalize that because asking your chat constantly for money to eat, there's like multiple levels that's desperate and shilling. I'm not sure what because there's the desperation of not having the money to go get yourself food. There's the desperation of having to ask others for money. There's the shilling instead of playing the game. There's and I realize I'm doing it anyways right now, but I thought I might as well point out, you know. I never played WoW, although I've played a decent amount of Guild Wars 2. I played Guild Wars 2 from beta all the way up to between Path of Fire and Icebrood Saga. So I played a lot of Guild Wars 2. I played a lot of Guild Wars 2. It was my main MMO before 14. No king rules forever. Absolutely, no king rules forever, my son. I will say, to this day, I still think one of the best cinematic trailers for an MMO that has ever come out is by far the Wrath of the Lich King one, because you don't need to know. It tells its complete story in a single trailer, and you don't need to know anything about the Warcraft lore to get the emotional heart of what is going on. And that just the storytelling in that trailer as well as the visuals are phenomenal. If you can do it, Elio deserves it. Thanks, Aaron. Well, it's gonna be so much fun. I have very sweet memories of it. Me too. Honestly, Mists of Pandaria, Legion are significantly better than any of the classic era expansions I've been playing since TBC. But while the challenges were terrible, because we got a bad rap, it was fine. Yeah, that's been my impression. For everyone who stuck around, my impression is that Mists of Pandaria, everyone loves. Legion is a little bit mixed, depending on who you ask. Cataclysm is better than people give it. The problems is that because it made the world reset and 2.0, the problem is they didn't have a way to meaningfully engage with the world before Cataclysm. And so, for instance, they had sequels to quest lines, but if you had never played the original quest lines, those sequels don't make sense. There was a lot of design decisions around Cataclysm that only made sense if you had played the game prior. And so that's the struggle with I think Cataclysm, is that there's a lot of fundamental errors with it that end up making, in the long term, became a problem. Let's keep my favorite expansion. Mists of Pandaria are better games, in my opinion. Yeah, Bryn, I think that seems to be a lot of people's opinion, at least especially for Mists of Pandaria. Yeah, Activision really like yeah. Man, if you don't have good management, there's only so much you can fucking do. See, people get mad at Blizzard for making Diablo Immortal pay to win, but ABK has been made most of their money on pay to win mobile games, mostly be Candy Crush. Yeah, it's more. I mean, like if you're surprised by Diablo Immortal, like that's not on you. Still, fuck them. But it's not. It shouldn't be surprising. And also, stop giving them money. If you want them to stop, you have to stop giving them money. The only way that they stop doing this shit is if you stop giving them money. Sorry, I needed to say that. I keep seeing so many YouTubers who are like complaining about it, and then they pay thousands or hundreds of dollars, and I'm just like, stop giving them money. It's funny, we don't have Taco Bell in Latvia. I'm one of those rare gremlins who actually wants it. Gotta have that Baja Blast. So if you left just before they released the Flying Dragon mount. Flying Dragon mount for Guild Wars 2? Yes. Yes, I would have left just before that. That sounds about right. Night Brotherhood, it was great to have you. It's unfortunate, but the publisher posted a lot of bad blood in the past years. Yeah. Oh, hey, Vix, thanks so much. Eat some dang food. Do you want a funny voice or anything? Remember, whenever you get money, I will gladly do a funny voice. I played WoW for 15 years, did Shadowlands, and thought I just can't do it again. I'm done. Yeah. So at some point, there has to be a final straw. People just forget that the mobile games developer king is part of Activision. Yeah. You know, I'm going to finish up this quest, and then I want to talk to you guys more. And I actually may finish up this part of the quest line, and I then may just spend some time talking to you guys, because I'm a bit tired. And so what I'll do is I'll keep talking to you, and I'll just like do an outro for those who don't want to watch any more of the who are here for the MSQ content. So just give me a second. I just need to check. As promised, I'll return to you your father's ancient blade. Aye, it is her. Every chip and scratch, just as I remembered. God bless you, sir. I've never expected you would go to such great lengths for us two strangers, without thought to a reward. Altruism is a rare trait these days. 'Tis common enough if you know where to look. A gentleman recognizes the good in every soul and understands that none deserve to be forsaken. Then call me a gentleman, because that's how I fucking think. And to a point of maybe arguable naivety sometimes. Spoken like a true gentleman, though your garments beg to differ. Oh, Inspector, I brought you a change of clothes. I also brought a supply of tonic from the peddler I met in Pearl Lane. I love those bottles. Like, I love the model of that bottle. Excellent work, Nashu. If you would just bring me that case. Oh no. Oh no. Inspector Hildebrand! There appears to be something lodged in my forehead. Could be a missive from an Andorian admirer? You know, I feel there might be too much in common with me and Hildebrand. The author neglected to pen his name. I shall come to claim the collector's blade. Is that supposed to be flattering? No, you. It's supposed to be, no, you. It's supposed to be intimidating. The duelist wrote this. He's daring you to stop him. A challenge? For me? Ho ho! At last the curtain rises. Very well. If I'm to duel the duelist, I must dress for the occasion. Oh no. I love this game. I, Hildebrand, Asian Inquiry of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, accept your challenge. He is incredible, so bold, so majestic, just like a warrior of light. No, a gentleman of light. He is exceptionally something. Core Inspector, Hildebrand, you look so amazing. In case you were wondering what Cloud Strife would look like at 70. Hildebrand. Oh, this is a great shot of Hydaelyn. I had no idea this was in here. It's not very long, though. I probably can't use it for much. I'm always looking for good shots. Also, Isa, thank you for the Taco Bell. This is far from the strongest of swords. Actually, I don't want to.
Blue skies and the roiling deserts. How much longer must I seek the blade of legend?
Thank you, guys. I'm not sure. Without $40, with $40, I could eat for at least 4 days. Or if I splurge, 3. Hildebrand, gentleman hero. Challenge accepted. A worthy poem. With my, let me call out what it is, genius I shall bring. Wait, you wish to duel with weapons, not wits? The bridge hardly seems an appropriate place for such an epic battle. Hildebrand will return in The Three Collectors. People just forget into the mobile game to lower King is part of Activision. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, I know the spear. That's the one I found buried with the pumpkins. Pumpkin sort of remind me of... nope, it's gone. Never mind. I appreciate this game so much more now than I did when I first started playing it. Yeah, those were the major problems. Okay, let's catch up with you guys. What do you usually like from Taco Bell? Heck yeah, you too. Right. What do I like from Taco Bell? Usually I like steak quesadillas, except for they got rid of those. I probably could still theoretically order them. Right now they have this like chicken wrap thing that is really like light and actually has a lot of veggies in it, but is also like hefty enough that like I feel good about eating it. So that's probably the main thing I'm looking for. That and like some chips and queso. Now you don't get a lot of chips and queso for the cost, so I usually try to kind of avoid that. But they're enough that I kind of. My favorite person griping about Diablo Immortal was the guy who spent $15,000 in the game to get some rare item and trashed it out of protest. Like, bro, you got the money, you don't care. Yeah, like, here's the thing. You can still complain if you don't like a thing, but if you're still spending money on it and supporting it in all the ways that are gonna not make them change, I don't really take your opinion that seriously. Like, I take your opinion seriously in that, yeah, it is bad, but you're unwilling to put your money where your mouth is on it. Now, I acknowledge that it gets complicated. That, like, with World of Warcraft. You know, like some people like still want to support it. They still want to buy the game, even though they have all those frustrations with Activision Blizzard and stuff. But especially with something like Diablo Immortal, there's just like with that shit, there's just no question, right? And I know some people, the philosophy too is you don't want to stop supporting the devs. I am of the mind that if a company though is behaving a certain way, you are responsible to not support them. And yes, that may hurt developers, but it can't be that they can't hold developers hostage and use them as a bargaining chip to make you stay around. That blows my mind. Like, I tested the game by pairing $1,000. This game sucks. You knew it. What it was a trap. Why did you pay? Why? Yeah, exactly. There's no final straw for me with WoW. I always go to the game another chance, but if an expansion is bad, I'll just quit, come back a few patches later. Sunk cost fallacy. You know, here's the thing, Rin. I don't even just think it's sunk cost fallacy, though, for you. What I'll say is, if you know, hey, I like this thing, and when it's good, I really like it, and I'm willing to test it out each time, because when it is good, I will want to play it. That's different to me. Sunk cost, to my mind, would be you continue to play Shadowlands or Dragonflight, even though you hate it, because you've already put time in it. But if you buy the collector's edition, and that makes you happy, and you play it for like a month, and you're like, oh, I love this, and that's awesome. Or you play it for a week, and you're like, I'm just not feeling it, but I did get my money's worth. Then, you know, like, you know, I think that's understandable. You know, I might do it differently. I might have something different, like, but I get it. Myth is requesting Cookie Monster. Oh, thank you. What do you want Cookie Monster to say? Did I miss Myth saying something? I just want to make sure that... Oh, so you just left before the release of like Dragon Ball. No, okay. Yeah, Vixen, let me know what myths, or myths you can tell me what you want me to say. I love WoW too much to quit permanently. Yeah, most of Action Blader money comes from King. Elio's a gentleman. Hildebrand quests have excellent facial animations. Yeah. What is the quest? Oh, Hildebrand. You should definitely play it, Cal. The eyes of your character just went. I relate to Hildy because I get too razor sharp playing cards embedded in. Here comes the music. Best cutscene, can't stop laughing. The fucking gay man. Yeah, everyone's going wild. The smile gets me every single time he does it. I love Nashu. Sorry, he just reminds me so much of the Inspector Gadget. He really does, though. Now I wouldn't talk about... Sorry, Auroria. Gotta get the Chalupa and Crunchwrap Supreme. Look, if you're paying, I'll get whatever the fuck you want. I'll try stuff. Except for I hate, like, ground meat. Hey, it's Tethys. Tethys, every time you come in with the glam, and I'm... What? Okay. Tethys, this isn't because your glam is not clear. I feel like I can't tell if your glam is supposed to be a cosplay of something, because it's triggering some mental note in the back of my head. I love Bahaj Blast Sluckies. Remind me to tell you the story about me and my wife's chalupas. Remind me to tell you the story about me and my wife's chalupas. Okay, no, that was potentially a euphemism. Got it. Okay. I had $40 for the entire week last week. I bought a metric shit ton load of hot dogs, and that's all I ate for the entire week. I feel you, Rin. That has been most weeks, a lot of weeks of my life. I've been there many, many times. I feel you. I really do. And I know that, like, even if, like, that's okay, even if, like, you're used to it being okay or you're used to it, it doesn't mean that it can't suck, so. I love the Doblin in every outro sequence for Hildebrand. Oh, right! That went over my head, Ray Ray. My husband can tell you about my Indian food addiction. Dude, Indian food's so good. Quesaritos, so good. Koblin, all the food talk makes me want to go cook food. Definitely do, Silver. I want Taco Bell. Sorry, Demins. Man, I really want the horchata. Oh, horchata's so good. Okay, actually, my favorite drink, though, is not horchata. Like, at that point, I would just want rum chata. Or, like, give me, like, a pina colada. I know that they're not the same thing, even remotely. But, like, a pina colada or... Dude, I remember one time I was playing Overwatch, like, in 2016. And I sat down, and I had a thing of rum chata, and I was just drinking it. And I wasn't thinking about it, and I, like, felt fine. I was playing fine, and nothing weird. And then I stood up, and I was like, oh, I'm drunk! Like, but it only hit me once I stood up. I live near a place with a Taco Bell and a place that sells horchata just a few blocks away. Ooh, isn't that convenient? You want Mexican food? Nice. Not really a Taco Bell fan, to be honest. It's probably because I can easily get more authentic Mexican. Like, if you can get, yeah, then that totally makes sense. Here's the thing, Des, is like a lot of Mexican cuisine, and like, I'm not a big fan of beans. I'm not a big fan of, like, a ground beef, or a lot of other meat. Like, a lot of the best Mexican cuisine is stuff that is not, I don't like that much. And I like the bullshit stuff, like the really Americanized weird bullshit stuff that Taco Bell makes. So So like, but I totally understand then why you would, because like that's not, you know, Taco Bell's not good for if you want good shit. Wife and chalupas, you nasty. Look, you said it. Craving for DQ, a blizzard and a burger. Does Dairy Queen have good burgers? Hey guys, would you be okay if I potentially wrap up a little bit early and just sit and talk to you guys for a bit? Because I am very tired. And I could use some extra time to finish my editing for the video tomorrow, and that way I won't have to go to bed at 2 a.m. When Overwatch is still fun. Yeah, Laura, yeah. Good to see you, glad to have you, by the way. I don't know if I saw you earlier. I don't get to try a lot of exciting food, but at least one, I can always try to cook something exciting without potentially burning the whole apartment. Yeah, I can't stand alcohol. I do smoke, sir. I'm actually not a huge alcohol person. I don't drink to get drunk, I drink for flavor. The main alcoholic drinks, like I'll drink some mixed drinks. Usually if I'm drinking, and it's pretty rare, I drink sake. And I drink sake with, as a mixed drink with Coke or other sodas. One of my favorite drinks in the world is sake and Coke. Talk to us? Okay, no, that's totally fine. Rest and relax, sure, it's your stream. Your health comes first. Del Taco, some nice stuff though. Used to milkshake just to chat with. Yeah, it's fine time. Also do what you must. We'll be here. Thanks. You know, yeah, okay. Well, in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the tea tree, and then I'm gonna do the outro, but I will be around afterwards. So I will still be around. I just want to do the outro for. Can't drink till late tomorrow since I had a crown put in yesterday. Oof. At least I hope the crowning went well, and your teeth feel better in the long run from it. Still have to try sake. I am a big fan of sake. A big fan of all kinds of sake. Drink. Oh no, not slash drink, slash tea. Yeah, so quick outro. Hey! I'm Elliot Forcheron. I almost said my real name there. You should come check out our Discord. On top of that, thanks for watching. Sorry for this brief episode if you're used to the pace of the other ones. It's been a long and weird week. The things that you should check out our Discord. We do a lot of socialization there and have a really good time. It's very supportive, and talk about Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy XIV lore, and all sorts of other good topics and conversation. If you've liked this content or also our video content, why not check the other one out? If you like the video, check out the stream. Wait a second, if you're listening to this, you probably already did check out the stream. Don't worry about it. We put out new streaming content every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, as well as that's MSQ replay. And then Saturdays is when we have community live streams where we help each other finish any things that we wanted to get done. Wednesdays are when new videos come out. Fridays, we have Lore Book Club, which if you join the Discord, you can join in. We slowly go through Encyclopedia Eorzean Volume 1, and it's a good time. It's a great way to learn a lot of lore and all other sort of goodies. Brain work. Oh yeah, if you want to support us, you can always offer us $1 over on Patreon. We have all sorts of fun rewards. You can also offer us a super chat here on YouTube. It goes a long way towards making this whole thing more sustainable, and slowly but surely we're getting there thanks to all of your guys' lovely support. On top of that, don't forget that we have merch. You can find it at our Teespring. That'd be Teespring. Anyways, I'm sure that Tethys will put a link in the chat for the merch. And slowly we will be increasing the scope and scale of that in the long term. Am I forgetting anything else? Oh, if you like written lore, don't forget to check out our website, theeorzeanarchives.com. There's a lot of great stuff written by the Archon Neri. On top of that, yeah, that should be the vast majority of it. I'm going to now catch up on my stream and talk to these lovely people. So if you want something that's more chill and low-key, feel free to stay around. If you're like, why the fuck is the Elven Man not going back into the MSQ yet? I'm sorry. We'll be doing Binding Coils next time. Okay, let's get back to you guys. Have you heard of horchata but made with rice and it's being fermented through intestinal tract of animals used for horchata? Through the human. AC, yeah, yes, I absolutely have heard of that. In fact, I thought that was like one of the yes, I thought that was a commonly known fact for in some of its versions of creation. Yeah, it's fine. Now I want some mint chocolate. Everyone's getting hungry. Heard it tastes like sweet vodka. For sake. Oh, hey, Kiralea. good to see you. Glad to have you. Sorry that you're coming in right as we're wrapping up the MSQ stuff. However, if you want to hang out and chill and talk a little bit, that is what we will be doing for the next maybe hour, 30 minutes. We'll see. And if not, you can always toss out here or scroll back and just watch the Hildebrand stuff that we did. Indeed was a permanent crown, so not as discomfortable as the temp and not as painful as the root canal. Okay, good, Des. I've had those and those are not fun. But yeah, Laura, it definitely, sweet vodka is not a bad way to put it. I'm not a drinking type. I mainly drink other stuff in place of alcohol. Also, oh, sorry, one of you were talking about smoking leaves. I can't stand alcohol. I do smoke a certain leaf that happens to be legal where I live. It really helps my anxiety and depression. Rin, awesome. I'm glad that that is helpful for you. I grew up with a family with alcoholics, so I literally did not drink my first drink until 21, which, yes, it's legal, but it's also, I grew up in a lot of different places, but a lot of that time was spent in Wisconsin. And if you know anything about Wisconsin and alcohol, like, man, it's not just about drinking more. It's more that it's just so culturally a part of the world is, like, for instance, like, kids going to bar, like, seeing 3-year-olds at bars is really normal. Like, seeing, like, children. Like, I didn't realize having kids at bars was, like, less normal. Or, like, even sitting at the bar was not normal until I was, like, into my, like, late teens. But I will say I really do love certain alcoholic drinks for the drink. And I also know people in my life who are responsible with it, who it is actually a really helpful social lubricant for them. And because it's a helpful social lubricant, it ends up allowing them to be less anxious. So it's all about, it's all about how you use it. I'm not a drinking type. I mainly drink soda in place of alcohol, like soda or tea. Yeah, I mainly drink soda and tea as well. I was just looking at the Taco Bell menu. The quesarito it is. Quesarito is fucking awesome. Horchata is supposed to be made of rice. Yeah. I got a hankering for the 5-layer beef burrito. As a Hispanic person, I always get sad when people talk about how trash Taco Bell is compared to real Hispanic food. I mean, I love my native cuisine, of course, but Taco Bell is Stoner's heaven. So, Rin, I think, here's what I think. I think it's all about a definition thing here. So, for instance, if you want traditional Mexican food, Taco Bell fails because that's not what it is. The same way that American Chinese food is not Chinese food. That does not mean it doesn't have a rich culture and identity all its own. I think the real problem is comparing things that shouldn't be compared. Like, you wouldn't compare McDonald's. You wouldn't compare the benefits, the taste benefits of something like McDonald's to sushi, right? Like, they're very different things. At the same time, I think there's, like, comparing and contrasting Taco Bell with real Mexican food. When it's being used dismissively, it's a problem because what you're doing is you're not even comparing Taco Bell. You're just saying Taco Bell's not a real cuisine and it should only be compared in this contrast. Like, it diverged a long time ago. I got a hankering for, yeah. So I feel you, Rin. I didn't also eat Taco Bell until I was an adult. Because a lot of Mexican food I don't like. So I kind of like, Taco Bell, a lot of that stuff doesn't seem for me. But then I definitely ended up trying it one day because I was working in the props department for a movie theater. A play theater. And I hadn't eaten all day, and the manager came in and was like, Enter Elio's last name here. Freaking eat, and like threw down a Crunchwrap Supreme in front of me. I was like, you better like eat this. It's always funny that people always use my last name. You got ripping Australian. Yeah. I'm not much of a drinker myself, but I can really appreciate anything sweet. I do get very happy, especially if we get to have some cherry wine or hot winter wine. Ooh. It's rice milk and cinnamon, too sweet for my taste, but a lot of people like it. Yeah. It's a very, it depends on, you have to be in the right mood for something like horchata or rum chata. Well, may in fact join the Discord. Awesome! Good, will be great to have you. Accidentally took a drink of mixed Coke and mixed wine. I mixed it up with the think of my granddad's cup, and it was the same color. So I poured the cup with Coke, and it was nasty. Yeah, wine and Coke I can't imagine would go good together. But something like vodka and Coke, like, to me, vodka doesn't have enough flavor to be good in a mixed drink. Like, yes, it can be good if there's like 3 things in the mixed drink. And I know other people might disagree, but like vodka, but sake has a feel and a flavor to it that like goes really well with something. So like, I can recommend that if you like sodas and you're interested in like a simple, not heavy alcoholic drink that like if you want to just kind of like drink something that's a little nice and not get tipsy or drunk or anything, sake and Coke. I usually, it can be anywhere from 1/3 sake and 2/3 Coke to half and half. But I find it's very, very good. Can relate, sadly. I haven't had my first drink till it was legal, which is 18 in my country. Yeah. Beer is cheaper than water in Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Yep, Power gets it. Power knows. Taco Bell's to Mexican food as American Chinese food is. Yeah, Cal got it. You brought it up. Yep. I do personally find Chipotle more insulting to traditional Mexican food than Taco Bell because at least Taco Bell knows what it is. Chipotle feels like it's trying too hard. You know, Des, I think there's merit to that point. I do think there's merit to that point. Exactly. It's not similar to any native cuisine, which is my family's from Ecuador and South America. It's not real Ecuadorian food or even authentic Hispanic food. It's just inspired by it. And it's wonderful. Exactly. You know, take things and run with them and take inspiration. It's just like MMOs and like what Final Fantasy 14 did with WoW and what WoW is doing with Guild Wars 2 and 14. And, you know, the sharing of ideas. That's how culture is made, is the sharing ideas and reinterpretation. And I'd actually like to learn how to mix cocktails but not drink them except for the ones without alcohol. And also with the fast food thing, I'm not about authenticity. It's fast food. Yeah. I'll say one of my favorite go-to drinks if I'm out at a bar, because I tend to not drink that much at bars, because if I want to drink something alcoholic, I want to mix it myself. If I'm at a bar, what I typically drink is I'll drink a Shirley Temple, or call it a kitty cocktail, which is really funny when a 26-year-old man comes into the bar and is like, yeah, give me a fucking kitty cocktail. Actually, I'd like to learn it. What type of tea do you drink? I almost exclusively drink green tea, and I typically drink green tea with honey and sugar. Ooh, Country Rap Supreme is good shit, yeah. Nice dodge and doxing yourself there, Elio. I mean, like, look, let's be real here. If you really wanted to find me, it probably wouldn't be that hard. You really keep getting close, man. White wine and Sprite goes well together. That's an interesting combo. I could potentially see it. I like to mix spice rum and Dr. Pepper. I can definitely see that. I'm not a big spice rum guy, but I can definitely see those pairing. I really like cold, fruity, flowery tea. Nice. For me, my thing is, like, most tea tastes bitter to me, and anything bitter at all, and many things that you might not find bitter, I find bitter. Like, I can't drink coffee because it's bitter. Anything bitter, I just can't do. Just all bitter. It's just gross. Like, you know that, like, nail stuff that you put on your nails so that you don't chew them, and how bitter that is? Or, like, a Switch cartridge, if you've ever tasted a Switch cartridge. That level of bitter is what, like, anything bitter tastes like to me. Wait a minute, isn't horchata not supposed to be made with dairy? I thought it used almonds or almond milk. I couldn't tell you. Horchata can also be done without milk and just water instead. Yeah, I've seen it done that way, since it's under the category of aqua fresca, or whatever nuts are used in horchata. I mean, my wife is Mexican, so we eat lots of traditional Mexican food, yet still love Taco Bell. Yeah, I mean, it's different things, different desires. It fills different wants and needs. It's like, well, never mind. I was going to talk about dating and polyamory. Wine is not really a thing that can be mixed with anything, to be fair. It's all about the wine is made off and other details. Yeah. No sugar or sweetener in my tea. Yeah, Kiralea, I think a lot of people do that. I can't, just because of how bitter tea can be. I can drink green tea straight, but I usually need to add. I also like adding cream or milk to it. I miss the shredded chicken mini quesadilla. Miss. Nah, white can absolutely be mixed with Sprite. Funny enough, bacon-wrapped hot dogs, which seem super American, have their origin with the Mexican street vendors. I had no idea. That's super cool. White wine with Sprite is just like having an alcoholic Sprite. Alcohol makes me feel so sick, I just avoid it. Yeah, good. Force myself to enjoy it universally because social pressures. That sucks. But no longer. Good. Just a nice plant that is legal here for me. Awesome. Whatever works for you, and it works for being responsible. Yeah, no. I implore no one to use anything that they do not want to, which is, you know, haha, what a crazy notion, what a crazy thing to say. I do like rum and cran mango juice, or Firefly tea vodka. What, Firefly tea vodka and lemonade? What makes it Firefly? Tea vodka. What makes it tea vodka? That's interesting. Issa, you gotta explain that. And light rum and cran mango juice. Issa, that sounds like a you drink, and I don't know how to defend myself in explaining that. My stomach's already starting to eat itself. Gonna go get food. Enjoy your night. Thanks, Aurora. Good to have you. See ya. Hope you enjoy your food. Tea is supposed to be bitter. Yes, but anything bitter tastes bad to me. Like, it tastes like poison. For me, totally not a coffee addict. Why the hell are you tasting a Switch cartridge? Well, have you never tasted a Switch cartridge? Did you not know they taste bad? Like, they have an anti-eating mechanism on them that's a bad taste? And look, I'm a curious person. I have to know. Caramelized pear tea. Best thing I have. That caramelized pear tea. That sounds amazing. I knew as soon as you started explaining your bitterness sensitivity that Switch cartridges were going to be mentioned. Other than that, or a color like Seagrams or the like. Elderflower tea is sweet and tastes like honey without sweeteners. Interesting. Alcohol spells doom for my point. I don't even know from which end you mean. You can cook with tea wine. That's a rice dish that goes well with tea. Yes, there are a lot of rice dishes that use tea. I don't like them paired together, but I do know them, and I've cooked them. I've cooked a lot of dishes like that. I've cooked a lot. A wine goes good into clam bake broth. Yeah, that's a very common thing. Yep. It's understandable. I used to be an obscene amount of sugar in my tea and coffee, but I broke my taste buds using coconut cream instead of milk. Ooh, I do love some, like, it's weird. Coconut-based things are all hit or miss. They either taste like water and awful to me, or every so often I find one, like a coconut milk, that for whatever reason all of a sudden tastes delicious. It's so weird. Firefly is sweet tea flavored vodka, but it doesn't taste like anything like sweet tea. So just unsweetened tea. So yeah. Descriptive, Visa. Buy the lemonade plus iced tea Arizona drink. Actually, I was just drinking one of those earlier. It's not bitter at all. Yeah, no, I drink tons of those. Like Arizona, I drink a lot. Like even like I drink like this. Like I'll drink this. This is the limit of like bitter without additives that I can handle, which I know sounds crazy because it's not like this is particularly bitter. I don't drink a lot of alcohol, but I had a hot cocoa. Oh, dude, I drink so much hot cocoa growing up. I don't like cinnamon that much, so I actually don't drink Fireball once it was pretty very good. But I can definitely putting those together makes sense. Okay, so when I hear that something tastes disgusting is designed to prevent somebody from licking it, I have zero impulses to try it myself. Well, I am a curious individual, so I must know. I'd rather have the tart. Before I leave, it's a ritual for me to put my tongue on the Switch cartridge and label every time I get a new game. Anyways, you can't leave on that note, Aurora! Like, doing it once I understand, but every time? Just playing with fire. Oh, I got a text. Interesting. Well, excuse my language, the crudeness of the topic, but alcohol equals nuclear explosion of truly epic.
Well, excuse my language and the crudeness of the topic, but alcohol equals nuclear explosion of truly epic proportions. The final days of my toilet, if you will.
Some alcohol, the magic mudslide. I haven't heard some of these. When I hear some random item taste bad, I go full caveman unga bunga and have to find out firsthand. Normally aren't kids the ones who lick stuff. Some of us are children at heart. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask or anything that they want to touch on? You know, I may even wrap up even earlier if people don't need me. The fuck does that mean? People don't need you. I'm just like streaming. Like you just such devastation. Oh, lady. I'm an idiot in a horror movie who would die after poking the dead looking but still alive monster with a stick. See, I'm not that kind of idiot. That kind of thing I don't test. It's more the test things that I know aren't gonna kill me. Yeah, go for it, Rin. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, now's a good time. I use Cole's Asia coconut cream, not the milk. It's 98% coconut, so not really watered down like the other coconut milk cream. But yeah, if coconut products isn't watered down. Ooh, Kirale, I'm gonna try that. Thanks for letting me know. I had no idea. Need a special FF cooking stream. Would be a cool special. I went and bought the cookbook. So we can definitely do that. I would do a cooking stream if people were at interest. Oh, FF14's official Endwalker EP just dropped. Nice! Well, that's gonna be perfect for tomorrow's video. We need you, Elio. The stream just wouldn't be the same without you. Yeah, what? Actually, that said, I was just like, imagine like Ray taking over. That'd be pretty funny. Or like Issa or someone. What exactly is an archon? Do they have any authority? How does one become an archon? And what? You graduate from the studium. Well, you graduate from the studium and have an archon's thesis. sorry, technically you can get an Archon mark without graduating from the studium as long as you create an Archon thesis report and basically an Archon mark. What's a good way? An Archon mark is like a PhD, effectively. But it's a cultural PhD in that it is a recognition that you have provided an extreme amount of benefit and value to Sharlayan as a society via your exploits in a specific topic. Now, because of Graha, we know you do not have to graduate from the studium in order to get your Archon mark. But it is effectively a PhD that is also rooted in Sharlayan culture rather than just its institutions. Should the devs create an Archon quest so we can become one like Thancred? There's two reasons why we shouldn't. One reason why we can't is because the Archon mark is a 1.0 legacy tattoo that is a symbol for those who have become Archon. Or for a symbol for those who were from 1.0. So if we did a Archon quest, we would then need to, they would have to give us the Archon tattoo for people who aren't 1.0, and I don't think they'd ever do that. That said, it's possible. However, I would also suspect not as likely because the idea is it's a sort of years of research and effort sort of thing in order to get that level of recognition. It's hand cream, not bottled or canteens. Good to know. Okay. Does FF Karaoke Night sound like a good idea to stream? It sounds like a terrible idea to stream AC, but I'm potentially in. The problem idea with an FF Karaoke Night is, other than me, like getting people on, there'd be a problem with delay. So like obviously you couldn't duo anything. You could only single people. And I'd be willing to do it. We just have to make a format that works for it. That would be one that would just stream on Twitch, because we're setting up the Twitch to be able to be streamed on, so things that are not the MSQ will be streamed there. I'll probably try to have more streams like this on there. The main thing is I need to get to a point where I have videos done ahead of time, because right now, with my time as it is, I am only getting videos done usually on Tuesdays, but like by Tuesday, and they go up on Wednesday. So I need a bigger buffer currently. Archon is pretty much Sharlayan version of a PhD. Yep, Archon isn't Archon. Isn't Archon. The Archon mark means you're a huge nerd. True. The FFXIV cookbook is a cute one. The recipes look so good. Yeah. If having it in coffee is best to blend the cream in mixing bowl like whipped cream. Nice. I thought they have a Meteor Survivor tattoo. No. It's their symbol is the... Here. Well, no, I can't. Never mind. A possible idea. Maybe try and do a cooking stream with food related to where you are in the content. I.e. Knight's Bread and Heavensward. Hey, Destinium. Good to see you. Glad to have you. And you know what? That's a good idea. Maybe we do one per expansion. That's a great idea. Archon marks would take too long to study for. We don't have the time to do it canonically. Yeah. And it would apply too much. Time must have passed because you're not going to do it in less than a year. I like a layman warrior of light hanging out with all the smart people. Yeah, there's also a benefit to that. If you were to get an FFXIV tattoo of your own, what would it be? Or is there any FFXIV tattoo you'd love to see on someone else, if not yourself? You know, at this point, I feel like if I had to get something, I would actually get our logo. Like a version of our logo. Maybe like the outline, like black, just black version of our logo. Yeah. I feel like that would be the one that I would get the most. I'm hairy. So I don't have a part of my body that's good real estate for a tattoo. Other than maybe the forearm. So, but I feel like at this point, the thing, to me, tattoos are, you need, like, they have to be very important and be symbolic of a moment in time. I'm very, very, very careful with anything that would be an addition to my body. And so there are very few things that I would get tattooed, but our logo at this point might be one of them. I'd be tempted to get a meteor tattoo. Yeah. I honestly don't think I can consider my Warrior of Light anything. You know, I could get the meteor tattoo with our tome in it. Although that'd be funny because you have the meteor with the tome, with the meteor on the tome. Still, I honestly don't think I could consider my Warrior of Light anything but extremely knowledgeable person, given that they are level 90 white mage and level 90 red mage and level 90 black mage, as well as several of their jobs. You know, Rin, it's interesting you say that, though, because there is a demonstrated difference, though, between the academia knowledge of the Sharlayans versus the pragmatic and spiritual and otherwise knowledge of the other jobs. So I would point to the fact that, yeah, they're knowledgeable, but it's almost a street smarts versus book smarts kind of situation in some ways. Not that you don't have to be a kind of book smart for white mage and black mage and all that. Not at all. Clearly, that's not the case. But there is something to be said that there is a interesting distinction. I got the cookbook too. I made the hot chocolate lemonade, honey muffins, deep fried. Oh my god. Oh, that all sounds awesome. I haven't cooked anything from that. I'm gonna need to go do that. Try Dalgonia coffee. It's sweet and mostly milk. Yeah, I could try that. So at 1.0 players have the upper back neck tattoo, but not an archon mark. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not the archon mark. Maybe it is is it the way circle of knowing or the scions mark? 1.0 tattoo. I thought for sure the only way to have a legacy mark was or an archon mark was as a legacy tattoo. Yeah, I see that back mark, so maybe I'm wrong, and that's what I'm thinking of. Here, let me check. Archon mark tattoo FFXIV. I may have just totally gotten this wrong, so don't. Maybe, no, I think I may have just gotten it wrong. Thanks for calling me out on that. Yeah. I don't want to put out wrong information, and I want to be informed too. Different from the Archon ones. Yeah, sweet guys, thanks for letting me know that. I don't know why I thought that then. Yeah, okay, so cool. Well, I guess then then I guess if you take away the 1.0 thing, it's possible. It is possible. I think it unlikely, but it's possible that there could be a long quest series involved with that. Maybe do it over the course of like more than one expansion or something. Yeah, I'd be open to it, that's for sure. How are tattoos applied to the game, magic or with actual needles? So for when they're fake, for instance with Yidas, it's applied as a glamour. When they are applied in Charlian, they are applied by specific people who also link them to the registry the registries of Charlian. I don't know if they hyper specify if it's with a needle or magic, but I would suspect more likely magic, though needle is just as possible. The interesting thing, I guess, about the magic thing is that it's not a glamour. Like, that's the important thing. So it is a permanent fixture. So maybe it isn't magic. Maybe not an archon, but definitely a scholar of sorts. Scholar of war. Yeah, Rin, definitely a scholar, yeah, and knowledgeable. And so it's not to disagree with you. I just think that there is an interesting discussion to have to be about that there is a difference between the Charlian style of research and knowledge and the way in which the Warrior of Light it balances their experience with their world travel and their world knowledgeability and being the traveler. Agreed about tattoos. I got a few planned for the future, but they all mean quite a lot for me, and I had years to think on them well. Yeah. Oh, hey, Cal loves Dalgona coffee. Jobstones also act as a filler to explain how the Warrior of Light knows all the jobs to master. Jobstones. Yeah. Though, the important thing to understand about the Jobstones is that you can't use a Jobstone if you don't understand the fundamental principles of the art. That's why, so like if you weren't a conjurer, if you hadn't gone through all the conjurer quests and been a conjurer, you wouldn't be able to use a white mage Jobstone. You can only use a Jobstone. If you have a Jobstone and you don't have the prerequisite knowledge and understanding of its field, it would be like trying to read a book but not knowing how to read. So effectively, there is a certain amount of baseline knowledge that you have to understand. On top of that, the Jobstone only reveals more to you as you learn more yourself and become more connect and attune with it more. And so you are learning things too. Or scholar in the wrong school for tattoo. I'm thinking I might get an FFXIV tattoo to connect my Undertale tattoo to my sleeve, but I need to finish MSQ first and then some. Nice, Cal. Yeah, Cal, I know what you're gonna get a tattoo of, and it's in Endwalker. I know what you're gonna get a tattoo of because it will pair perfectly with your Undertale tattoo. I know what you're gonna get a picture of. And for those of you who have played Endwalker, it's a little blue bird. I think tattoos work the same as Fantasia. On characters? Yeah. I was about to say, in real life? I would drink coffee more than often, except it gives me stomach issues painfully. I only drink it when I want something sweet and nothing is around its pantry. Yeah, AC, I have that with other types of drinks. I need to get going. Hey, Deathberry, thanks so much for joining in and hanging out for this last couple of minutes. We're already under Archon title when I choose to interpret as we have our master's degree. Yeah, I think that's fair. Posted a picture of the legacy tattoo in Discord. Yes, thank you, Ray Ray. Archon tattoos are cool, yeah. Also, your stream was a perfect time for me to focus on some art stuff for work is going so well out far. I have to send the progress later. Nice, nice. Always very, very exciting with art. Oh snap, okay, I need to get there so we can figure out if you're right. Just, I really think that I know that the right kind of imagery and the right symbol will that'll end up working. I have a question about the convocation of 14 after stream. Cool, Ren, happy to talk about it. Speaking of Fantasia, when we get, feel free to at me at the Discord and Walker spoilers. Speaking of Fantasia, was it ever stated why Thancred's eye colors change? Thancred F. When? And if it's after he disappears into the live stream after 2.55, that would probably be why. Oh, okay, cool. Someone created a yellow, amber. Yeah, there are a bunch of different shades. Now, there may be a bunch of different shades. That might just be partially a lot of lighting differences. Yeah, I can't tell how much of that is lighting. I can do some stuff to check that out later, but I kind of see what you mean. Sometimes it's a deeper gold, sometimes it's a lighter gold. But it's hard to tell because lighting can affect things drastically. What field would you study for your Archons thesis? Actually, I have that written down for Elio. It's if you go to our Eorzean. So actually, here, let me just pull up the website and show you guys. Eorzean Archons.com. I know I just misspelled our own fucking website. Jesus Christ. Okay. People. No. About us. There we go. Look at Neri. Oh god, we need to update our photos so bad. The art field of study, the relationship between Aether and our artisanry, and studium thesis, the connection between materia, aetherite, and the soul. Which, ironically enough, now that I think about it, I've actually done a lot of scholarly research on as a content creator since coming up with that as my background. So it ended up being relatively fitting. Funny that. Don't rush Endwalker, but it's good. Yeah, Cal won't rush it because she takes her time on that stuff. She took quite a bit of time to get through Shadowbringers, but she's very excited. She just got to the end of 5.0 like a couple of days ago. And for those of you who've done that, yeah, his eyes changed several times. Yeah, his skin color changed too. Yeah, honestly, we know more about the Ascians than we know more. Yeah, in some ways, there's a lot we don't know about the Convocation and the Ascians. He wears an eye patch for a while. I thought he'd be wounded or something, but later he stopped. What was that about? I'm gonna say he was doing it for the pirate effect. So you know how there were pirates who wore eye patches, but they didn't wear them because they lost an eye. They wore them so that when they wouldn't lose their night vision for when they needed to go below deck. So when you're out in the sun, your cornea, your rods and cones get bleached. What happens is that if you have an eye patch over, when you go below deck, you can lift up the eye patch or switch it over to the other eye, and you'll be able to see completely fine. And if you've never done this at home, you should definitely, like in the middle of the night when it's really dark, cover one eye, take out your phone and like stare into your really bright phone, turn it off, and then take off your hand and like try switching eyes and like seeing how different your light sensitivity is. How does Thancred rank among your favorite characters? Thancred ranks pretty highly, actually. I know it's sacrilege, but in general, I'm far more interested and enjoy Thancred than Y'shtola. But that's partly because I find him more interesting. Like, again, I've said this elsewhere. It's not a problem of Y'shtola being worse or anything. It's just that Y'shtola has less to conquer and to overcome most of the time. She is who she is. And so that's just, like, narratively less interesting. But she's, like, phenomenal in all sorts of ways. Like, sassy and funny and great and, like, and competent are all wonderful things that I enjoy about her. But it's just less narratively interesting to me. I went from the first day free trial to end of Endwalker in 3 months. Damn! Swiggity swag. You hit it fast, Kira. Although, to be fair, I finished Endwalker in under 3 days, so... Literally, I finished it before it went live. Like, I finished it... I started in the pre 3 days that we got and finished it before it actually launched. I think he says an optional dialogue that was originally doing an injury, but after it healed, he kept it for the style. Oh, actually, Demins, I think you're right. I remembered that in the back of my mind. I totally had forgotten about that. If anyone does find that quote, definitely share that. But yeah. I think that sounds right. Ever tried doing the character tier list? I haven't. Do you guys want me to? Do you want to do a character tier list? It might make some people angry. Here's the thing. Any tier list I do is going to be quibbling over ranks. I have no intention of being like, oh, this person's dog shit. So, like, for instance, you probably won't see me put anyone in the bottom tier. If you guys are interested, though, yeah, we can totally do that. What about Eorzean? Eorzean might be my favorite Scion. Thank you for part of why I love starting in Ul'dah. Silver Kogaku, me too. That's why Ul'dah is one of my favorite starting places too. I always felt like he was most developed. Eorzean or Thancred? I always go for the oops dialogue option with Y'shtola. I would actually love to see that on stream. Interested in your opinion. It takes me longer to do Endwalker now when I speedrun it. Did you sleep at all in those 3 days? I did sleep some. I didn't do many side quests. I didn't do any role quests. I'll say, I actually way prefer the role quests as stories as aftermaths to Endwalker than as intra stories. Far and away. I think that they make as contextual sense as epilogues work way better. And they also adapt based on whether you're still in the story or not. Okay, I had 2 or 4 post-Endwalker friends sitting with me to have it before we went into that last dungeon. Yeah, that's awesome, Kira. Thancred, that might have been a spoiler. Rin. Oh, yeah. No worries, Rin. Thanks for being careful and deleting it. Yeah, Eorzean is probably my favorite Scion, but that's because there's a lot of things I identify with him. Like, there's a lot. Eorzean in some ways. Eorzean and G'raha are my 2 favorite. If I had to pick 2, like, I can't really pick 2. Okay, let's see. Is this popping up? Okay. Let's start ranking them. It's a big list. Should we just go? How do we do it? Let's do Scions first. Is that how we're gonna do it? I keep hearing my IRL name when you address a certain person in chat, so I'm like... Okay, let me guys know. Are we doing Scions first, and then we, like, branch out from there? And so here's another thing. I am obsessed with context. I'm also obsessed with, I'm not gonna shit on people unless I really think they deserve it. This is about quality of character and characterization. This is not about, do I stand them or this is about quality. So, bad people can be high on this list. If our bird's not S tier, we'll have to fight you. Yeah, no worries about that. Scion's always first. Okay, guys. Let's go. We'll go down this list then, based on who pops up where. And if there's anything spoilery, I'll just avoid those. First is Alice. Where does Alice go for me? I guess maybe a more interesting question is, are there C-list Scions for me? And the answer is yes, but it's gonna make people hate me. Okay, Alice is A-list, is A tier, definitely. Alice and Alphino are both A tier for me. They once upon a time would have been S tier, but because of the story as it's gone along, S tier is now reserved for specific people that I connect to on an extra level that are just very personal. So my S tier would be all cat girls plus Fran. Everyone knows would be bottom rank. Agreed. Alice is A tier. Yeah. Nero Tolskavia is at least A tier. Yeah. So when we get into the other people, it'll be interesting. So yeah, definitely A tier. S tier, again, S tier is special, like special to me. Not a comment. The thing that pushes something into S tier is is a thing that is unique to them with my experience of them, not a comment upon their quality as written or created. And of that, I'm going to put the Crystal Exarch. Definitely. Ooh, is Estinian S or A? I need to think about that. I would put Fordola as A tier, probably. For me. I'm gonna wait. I need to see more. I like Reen, but a lot of why I like Reen has to do with her arc and a lot of how it has to do with Thancred more than anything. And I don't think she has enough to do, like, she's got a lot of really amazing and wonderful growth in a story, but like, there's not a lot to it that I love. Lise is B, Papalimo is B, Y'shtola is B, Thancred is A. Urianger is S. Vothri is S. My S tier, Estinian. For me, she's S tier, my fave. Yeah, and do not let any of this take a... Here, again, all of these are incredibly close, too. So, like, do not think that this is a comment me saying, like, oh, I don't understand. Like, even anyone I put in C... If you love them, this is more about how I think about the characterization of my connection to them. Moonbreed is A. Gaius is A. Because I think there's a lot of really beautiful and interesting depth going on there. Even Gosetsu is probably S for me. Louis Suaz B, only just because you don't get enough time with him, but I really love the man. Sid's B. Xenos is is A or S, but it really depends on the context of the Warrior of Light. I'll wait for now. Stinian is S. If Gosetsu's S, Stinian's S. What are you guys saying? Fordolia, yeah. A is for Alpha. I can get behind that. Yes, that's where Urianger belongs. Reen is a sweet baby girl and needs to be protected at all costs, yes. Gosetsu is S tier, yeah. We need more Gosetsu. Don't forget Tataru. Yeah, where does Tataru go for me? Kryle's an A tier, definitely. Just gonna put that there. I'm pretty sure Issa is now driving to my house to kill me. Ah, there's Tataru. Tataru is an A tier as well. Nah, let's just leave there. Let's mess with it. Arbert's an S tier, yeah. And it sucks an S tier. Again, C tier, this is not a comment on them being bad. This is just a comment on, like, lackluster in terms of my, like, maybe, or, like, not having a lot going on with them. And also, remember, like, it's in context that I have to compare. Like, I'm not going to put Serena in, like, the same tier as some of these peeps. Okay, let's make all of my mods mad. Ooh, Pippin I really like. Pippin I like quite a lot. But is he B? Rowena is a C. He's an interesting villain, but he's not like he's like a Y'shtola level, so we're gonna put him here. Maybe we're gonna have to use all the ranks, but again, D does not mean bad. D means a really good character that is just not as high on my list. I think I'm gonna prevent my mods from killing me now. I want him to be canonically the Warrior of Light's uncle. I mean, like in spirit, Bestinian. Don't worry about it. Every personal opinion about characters is very subjective. It's because someone doesn't like a character and you like a value said character won't change you personally. And I'll say though too, like if there's a character that I put in D and they're your S or something like that, I do want to hear about it. I would rather also try to grow my opinion on it potentially and see like what might come from that. Oh my god. Lolorito, that's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, you're definitely a Lena. I love Lena. If anything, she might even be an A. No, she's not an A. She's not with those guys. Yotsuyu. Okay, here's the thing about him. Hate him or love him, he's a phenomenally well-defined and interesting character. A. S. A. Ian and A. Merrick. I don't know why guys spam Belsars in here twice, but I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna discount Darth Vader guys in D, Black Wolf in A. I think that's not entirely to distinguish them is actually potentially worthwhile. This really depends on which Minfilia you're talking about. Is that La Habrea? The mask is making it hard to see for sure. Because if it's Ascians as a whole, then like it becomes complicated. Elidibus is probably S tier for me. Thanks to 5.x. Matoya's awesome. Magni's pretty funny. Geralt's fine. Emmanuel has his moments. I actually might place Emmanuel higher than his brother. Because his brother's just a dude who's responsible, and we already have a dude who's responsible to Amaric. Chai is definitely A. You're A. I can't tell. Omega isn't A as much as their quest line is. And I do really like Omega. Lena does deserve the world. I definitely put Y'shtola higher, but your point about her having less to overcome its character makes total sense. I respect it. Yeah, anyone who puts her at S, I get it. I totally get it. And I totally, or puts her at S or A. I'm not even like, oh yeah, I get it. I get it. It's just that the thing I'm more interested usually in I mean, like the fact that Fordola's above her, right, should explain, right, that people overcoming is typically more interesting to me. And I think that even is shown here in some ways. You should be sure to save them when you're done so everyone here can see it once watch stream for dates. Yeah, good idea, Cal. I could listen to Elidibus' voice. Elidibus' voice is awesome. And also, definitely not Themis. Elidibus and Themis, definitely not the same person. I hate when every fiber scene that why I suppose he works as a villain. I'm assuming you're talking about Asahi. Yeah. No, Asahi is a perfect villain. He's a perfect simp villain, and he's also a perfect true tactician villain who actually comes up with a great plan, a really brilliant plan, and ultimately his vindictiveness is what is his downfall. No, I think Asahi is a phenomenal character. I fucking hate him. Yeah, Hien is awesome. Hien's great. Freaking love Hien. This seems less like I don't like them and more like they didn't get enough screen time and development for me personally, for me to connect as much. Yeah, and some of that's characterization as well. But like Emmanuel doesn't get some. Although I'll say, I guess Emmanuel does technically get some later on. So yeah, maybe Geralt. I think Geralt's actually down here. I think Ranjit is tragic enough. Yeah, Rowena is probably down here too. And you're down here. And maybe you're down here. Yeah. Ranjit is tragic enough that I find him compelling. C, B, B. I'm sorry, Connie Senna, but you just don't have a ton going on. The role quest helped, but you just don't. B, B. I can't put her in the same category as these guys. B, C, C, B. Again, Teleji, great fucking villain. One great fucking villain. Nashu's hysterical. I love Soroban. But he doesn't have a ton going on. Nero's an A. Actually, do I really love Nero more than Sid? Yes. Vothri is a tremendous villain, and also the fact that the story can make him a tragic figure is... I can't tell if that's lauding Vothri or lauding the story. That's the hard part. Elio has been banned from everything. Yeah. Asai was crack cocaine of a villain. Yep. Ugh, BRB gotta go make more cold water. Yeah. Chris and Serpent of the Twin Adder. Chris. A good villain can make you love to hate them. Yeah. Well, no, and you know what? You know what I think Final Fantasy XIV has proven as well? It's not just that a good villain can make you love to hate them. It's that Final Fantasy can also make you hate to love them. As well. And I think that it does both is I think some of its most powerful stuff. Minfilia. A Realm Reborn Minfilia is like a D, or it's like a C, more like a D. But Word of the Mother Minfilia is like a B or an A. So I'm gonna put her here, have it even out. Hildebrand's really fun. Hildebrand crew is going in B because like they're hysterical. They're wonderful characters and amazingly well written, but they're not what appeals to me most of like what connects to my soul. Nanamo is same as Raban and the others. Well, not, I mean, yeah, actually no, because of like 4.x and stuff, I think that she's got. Lucia's, I'd say a B. Is Lucia same as Yshtola? Maybe Yshtola needs, I'm just gonna put Yshtola up. Maybe the, yeah, if this is the list, I'm gonna tinker around a little bit. B, A or S. He's such a perfect foil for the Warrior of Light, and the something is just so good. I'm gonna have to put S because he's infinitely watchable too. I hate Xenos in so many ways, but I appreciate his characterization and the tragedy of him. Nero being A tier is acceptable. Yeah, so many tiers. Yep. Asai makes you hate him in 2 patches worth of post Stormblood content. That's impressive. Just as Moonbreeder gets you to love her in 3 patches worth of post AR content. Yeah. Elio is unbent. I kid about Kenny Sen. I play her to see myself. Yeah. Though it's if you don't put Horsefon in S. So here's the thing. I love Horsefon. I love him, and I love the moment he has. How do I put this? I think for now, because of my experience of playing Heaven's Word when I did, and where I was in life, I did not connect with Horsefont as much as I could have. And once I replay Heaven's Word with you guys, I think Horsefont will end up in S tier, but I think that as much as a smile better suits a hero, and as much as that does matter to me, and as much as his sacrifice and loss means to me, as much as his kindness meant to me, he isn't more in line with someone like Lena. He is more in line with someone like the twins in terms of meaning a great deal to me, but not that extra step. Not that extra little something currently. And I think that can change, but if I try to pretend like that's not the case, I don't think that is right. Omega I'm going to treat as A because I think Omega's pretty tragic, and do I think Vothri's a better villain or just more... I think Vothri's on the same league as like Varus. So I'm going to say B. And then is there an S+ tier for Yoshi P? Like what Wandering Minstrel is what? Wandering Minstrel goes in S tier. The only B tier I disagree with is Rabban. Do you think that he should be higher? I think Rabban. Well, no, because like if Ysaele's down here, then I think that that's in line with some of the others. Okay, let's go through them though. Why is Sorbonne in C tier instead of D tier? Honestly, if anything, I'm gonna actually move Ranjit up. No, just Ranjit. Yeah, I'm gonna move Ranjit up. No, because if Ranjit needs to go up, Lolorito needs to go up. But I don't want to put Vothri down here, but also, like, Ranjit should be in the same tier as Vothri. They're a really great pairing. This is interesting. Okay, here's what we'll start with. For my list, who disagrees with any of them? And I'm not gonna like push back against you. I'm just like, I want to hear, like, what ones do you disagree with and why? Oh, you finished it. Yeah, start putting it together. Yeah. Put it together. So now we're just going to test out what holds up and what doesn't. Ooh, and one of my partners got me a Mountain Dew, so I'm gonna eat that and some M&Ms because I have not had anything to eat yet today or drink. Is the Wandering Minstrel Yoshi P? I like to think of him as a stand-in, and there's been a long-standing joke about it. Pretty much every character in Endwalker that you would have mentioned, Rin, is going to go in S tier. Hey, Rune Dragon, good to see you. Glad to have you. So here's the thing. Remember that the caveat for the fundamental assertion here is those things that I connected most with. Hildebrand is phenomenally well crafted. I could put him into A tier. I can't put him into S tier. But I will hear. If you guys want to argue for him being in A tier, I'll hear it. I'll definitely hear it. Drink more water? I have water. I've been drinking water. Gaius is on there twice, but I think that the Black Wolf and Gaius are worth distinguishing between enough that it's fine. I also think Realm Reborn Gaius is discount Darth Vader, whereas Gaius further in is so much more nuanced and more interesting that I actually am kind of glad that I can distinguish between them. Yes, he does. Yes, he does, Destinium. So he is between S and A tier. Yeah. I almost want to add more tiers. Can I do that? Okay, yeah, let's get more granular with this shit. A, B, C, A, B. Wait, why is C here? Why is D come after? A, B, C, D, E. I know E rank is not usually 1. Fine. Not F rank, fine rank. Okay, who goes into fine? Oh, did we lose? Did it just delete? Oh, no, they're up here. Okay. You go into fine rank. Sayrine can be E. Rowena's, yeah. Geralt's, yeah. Yeah, you guys are fine. Thoradin, I don't think is a very, like, he's fine. He's the evil pope, dude. Like, he's evil pope. What do you want? Okay, this is gonna be a lot better. Discount Darth Vader is right. And the irony is that if you did his voice acting differently and you reworded what he's saying a little bit, he wouldn't come across as discount Darth Vader because the content of what he's talking about is the same content that he ends up talking about later. Like, that's the irony. Is that it's not like he's in some ways drastically different. Hildy in A tier is adequate. His chivalrous and compassionate disposition balances out his foolishness and buffoonery. Rune Dragon, thanks. I appreciate. Yeah. That is a fair point. He is more than a joke. He is definitely a joke, but there is a heart of compassion and the chivalry that is thematically appropriate for 14. I support. That's a very, very good point. I'll put him up here for now, and we'll as we go on, we'll see. Got to pray 2 days into the Tombstone hunt. Yeah, I ran the hell out of it at least one day until the event was over. Discount Darth Vader. That's how I feel about Kylo Ren. Discount Darth Vader was AK Discount KD. I mean, to be fair, discount Darth Vader and Kylo Ren being discount Darth Vader is like literally the thematic point of The Force Awakens and in some ways The Last Jedi. So I think the film agrees with you because I connect better to Alice than with Eorzean, for example. Power says, most of the people in my S tier are in your A tier. Interesting. Most of the people in your S tier are in my A tier. Just difference when to connect with. Yeah, because I connect with Alice more than Eorzean, for example, though both are really good until Shadowbringers, though I couldn't stand. Until Shadowbringers you couldn't stand Eorzean. Got it. I thought Gaius was dead. Yes, he is. True, but he also feels like a discount Darth Cadus, because he kind of is. Is that Jason Solo? Or not, that's Jason Solo, right? Or what's his face? Is it Anakin? No, yeah, Jason Solo. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was right. I never read a ton of the extended universe. I knew a lot of it, but I was never super into it. Other than some of the major ones. Yeah, Jason Solo, yeah. Yeah, I don't know his characterization well enough to speak to it, though, Rin. So I'll just say that. But I take your word for it. He was voice acted by more by my friends, New FC, and those weekends we took turns. It was fun. I don't remember this ARR voice only line reads at the other VC with me. Oh, cool. That's a fun memory. Okay. Okay. Now comes interesting. Okay, Ranjit goes down. Godbert's a hilarious joke, but he's not. I agree that putting Hildebrand up more makes sense because Hildebrand is a beating heart of there's a thematic heart there. Is Rothri a C? Maybe. There's not enough going on. Varys, they're all good villains. They're all really good villains, but they're not. They're tragic, and there's a lot. There is a lot going on there, that's compelling. Maybe they're higher. Okay, let's see. I guess okay. So who stays in A is the question. Let's pull you guys out. How do I? Can I even take them off? No, I can't. Okay. Who stays in A? Matoya leaves. Omega leaves. Oh, I love you, but you have to go. Alpha. Oh my God, Alpha can't leave. Like, not even joking. Like, I know we all love Alpha because it's cute and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I mean, literally, Alpha's story made me cry. There's no better written Kylo Ren with similar characteristics. I don't think they're the same, though. From what I've read of Jason, I don't think they're the same because Jason's always just trying to do the right thing. I mean, like, I guess if you look at Rise of Skywalker more than anything else, but I don't think, from what I understand of Jason Solo, which, again, I shouldn't be talking out my ass, but I do understand some, that they should be compared. Because one is obsessed with legacy, whereas one is obsessed with... If anything, Jason Solo is more in line with Anakin than Kylo Ren. He was inspired by his grandpappy Darth Vader. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I actually put strictly English version of Thea Ul in the lowest tier because in English I couldn't stand Pixies for some reason. Part of the reason she's in this is because of her English version. I don't enjoy her Japanese version that much, but her English voice actress is the shit. Holotape of Anakin choking Padme and thought he was right. Then I like him less than I like Kylo Ren. Because that's just fucked. There's not even really an equivocation on that. Because one's obsessed with the idea of legacy rather than the literalization of legacy. Kylo Ren never understood what Vader was or what it was like, just the myth of him. The same way that people are in Force Awakens are inspired by the myth of Luke, you know, without knowing him or understanding him. So I you know. Yeah, but I don't think you can caveat that. That doesn't... I don't know. For me, that you don't, like... You can't overlook that. So it's like F and S at the same time. Yeah. I can see your perspective, don't worry, but I can explain why I was dying inside every cutscene. It was hilarious, though, and really more of a love dynamic between Feaul and the Warrior Flight. God, I love Feaul. Feaul's so good. And for those of you who haven't gotten to Endwalker yet, you're in for a treat. Or Shadowbringers. Both are true, though. Okay, Chai, he's in the same category as Chai. Yukiri. Oh, I kind of really like, I mean, it's a very bad example of why it became Darth Caedus. He was already failing the dark side. Yeah, I mean, I won't speak to it anymore only because I haven't read it, so any opinion I have shouldn't be taken seriously. Because I only have a passing understanding of him. And if I'm not informed, then I shouldn't be listened to. That looks pretty good. Anyone have any problems with my A tier? Like, not anyone who should be pushed up, but anyone have any problems with my, you know, A Feauls. Yeah, A Feaul. Does anyone have any problems with? And Gosetsu's special because of the moment in the Nama. Like, the Nama Desert moment is a big part of why Gosetsu is as unique to me. It is as special to me as he is. Otherwise, I think I'm good. I don't fault anyone who likes the sequel trilogy, but Disney taking over doesn't mean anything to me as far as I'm concerned. Everything after Mandalorian is still Legends canon to me because I grew up with it. Sure. Yeah, whatever. That's on you and up to you. Okay. So if with A tier unlocked, then it's down to B tier. So, okay. What's the breakdown for this? Who in this list doesn't belong to Leggy? Nashu. Lucia. Nanamo. Yes. I know, Ray, hate me all you want. I can't say Pippin's better than Nashu. I like Pippin a lot, but I mostly like Pippin because of Raban. You know, there are things I like about Sid. So Papalimo, yeah, okay. You know what? I'm actually pretty happy with this. C. Yeah. You know what? I think I have it. I think this is it, guys. Any final quotes or any final disagreements? Not all your A tier actually looks very agreeable, personally. Oh yeah? What's wrong with it? The too many, or the fact that there's not people in it that should be? Not at all. Your A tier actually looks very agreeable, personally. I misread. Sorry, lady. No. You said it right. I misread. Okay. Well then, let's save that. I don't know why I saved under that. Okay. Well, seeing as we're coming up on 6:30 here, I actually do disagree with Fordola's ranking. I think she's actually easily S tier. Yeah, I can absolutely understand that. Especially her arc. I think I'm always a sucker for forced empathy arcs. If it wasn't the caveat of the people, and I almost put her S tier. Like it's hard. Okay. If Fordola goes S tier, Alice and Alfino also have to go S tier. Because they are characters that spoke to me in specific ways. Fordola's dealing with the idea of forced empathy and also her character arc, and it's not just about redemption, but fighting to do right and the complicated nature of war and loss and tragedy and how it's a vicious circle. I connect to that deeply. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Okay. Actual faves. Well, my FC is online, going to join the VC with them, have fun. Sounds good, have a great time! Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap up things there then. Thanks for spending this past hour low-key with me, guys. I am going to go try to rest for a little bit, or maybe do some other activities. Maybe go listen to some of that, Tokyo. What is it called? Tokyo. We were talking about, oh yeah, try to sleep to some of that J-Rock. Maybe J-Rock is a weird thing to listen to fall asleep, but no problem. You have good rest. Yeah, and we'll be back to normal on Thursday, and it's gonna be straight into Binding Coils, then Crystal Towers. And then we're going straight into 2.x. And the interludes for the future will probably just go straight into the raid and raids, trial series, and Alliance raid between each expansion. So it should be about 3 episodes. Enjoy your rest or other activities. Will do. Thanks, Ray Ray. Are you going to do stream live letter? Yes. Oh, don't forget. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Yes, we will be streaming the live letter on July 1st. Right? Is it the 1st? Or is it the 5th? I've forgotten already. Either way, we will be streaming it live. If you'd like to watch that with me, we'll be doing it. I will also be reading off the live translations that are done on the Discord. So, because there will not be a live translator. So, if you have interest in that, please feel free to come and join us. And I will get plenty of rest. Thank you all. This has been lovely, as it will ever be. And I will see you all later.